Ooh. I wonder what 3 loops will play. What do you mean you're trying to verify and star? You should be on here already. Hell no. What the fuck's going on? I don't care. Abort yourself. Let's see if it's heard. Alright, so let's see if that played. No, I don't want to save that. Make 100 of those in 2 seconds. Let's see here. Welcome to chat. Oh, where is the chat? It's right here. Chat. Sync. 803. That's what I thought. Alright, cool. So close. It's almost as if it says it's 1 minute away. Now it's the same time. It's almost too good to be true. 8 o'clock. See what she did there. Well, just means a chore. Yeah. I can see how you don't have much results out of it either. OBS. Oh, right. Whatever. It's not like I've used it very much to tell the difference. Stream yard. Stuck. Waiting for 4 more minutes. I'll be on soon, says an individual. Sovereign cyborg. I've been having an audiobook played in the background while I drive by the name of To Kill a Mockingbird. It's that one that was in the back pocket of John Lennon when he was killed. And it's a pretty good book. Well, no, the dude's pocket that killed him, not in actual John Lennon's pocket. It's a pretty good book. To Kill a Mockingbird. I don't know what the fuck I just said before that, but it's called To Kill a Mockingbird. Damn. Been postponed. 4 more minutes. God damn it. 4 stages of community. It's probably worth it. Cool. The live streams took a dip since Junior left, but still gonna be a trip. Let's go. Yo. Yo. Yeah, so times like this is moments I'd like to brag about how I've turned a shovel into a leaning post. I can literally take a shovel and act like you're gonna dig, but don't dig. Flip it 180 degrees and stomp it into the ground vertical as hard as you can, and use that bitch as a leaning post. It is very effective. You don't really have to worry about if it's gonna cave on you, unless you're in like the desert or something. But yeah, a lot of dirt can carry a lot of weight. Yeah. So, just sitting here, waiting to grow in the dirt. 4 stages of community: pseudo community, false peace, chaos, conflict, emptiness, humility.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform.
The fucking ads.
The one thing I love.
Nicholson 1968
Of all
yeah.
The one thing they show.
Learned more than mainstream. Well, that's not true. I learned his this shit.
Some dreams will never die.
He was on there.
Some never figure why.
Richard
They won't take
in the 1960s.
our freedom away. They won't take our freedom. They won't take our freedom away.
I should be able to move this bitch.
When M. Scott Peck talked about pseudo-community, he wasn't just talking about churches or families. He was describing every movement that claims to have found the truth. Pseudo-community is that early stage where everyone pretends harmony exists, where honesty gets traded for belonging, where people say, we're all one, but what they really mean is, don't make me uncomfortable. And I can't help but see the same pattern in what we call the natural law movement. The message, freedom, morality, self-ownership is all great and pure, but the practice, too often it's polluted by ego, dogma, and quiet competition. They talk about truth, but avoid conflict. They preach courage, but run and hide from accountability. That's pseudo-community in its purest form, a fragile illusion of unity that shatters the moment someone dares to speak truth too bluntly. Now rewind to 2012, the Ron Paul revolution. That was some real shit. For many of us, it was the first time we saw someone on the national stage stand up and say we should legalize drugs and the Federal Reserve and abolish the IRS. That campaign wasn't about politics. It was the rebirth of conscience in the public square. It cracked open minds sealed shut by the red-blue two-party paradigm tribalism bullshit. People organically came together to promote the message of freedom. No corporate sponsors, no central command, just raw human conviction. In LA, a local entrepreneur donated a space for a Ron Paul call center. We hosted sign hanging parties late into the night, painted banners, stapling flyers, handing out bumper stickers and DVDs about market anarchy, waking people up one conversation at a time. I remember a group of ladies got together to make a pinups for Ron Paul calendar where they got their titties out to promote the message of freedom. The calendars sold out very quickly. We built meetup groups on Hollywood Boulevard where activists, artists, musicians, and veterans stood shoulder to shoulder in the belly of the beast. Different people, one principle: slavery is immoral. We protested at the Federal Reserve, passing out in the Fed pamphlets to people passing by who had never heard of Austrian economics. It was grassroots activism at its finest: spontaneous, decentralized, unstoppable. And when Ron Paul came through town, we made sure and threw a big party for him. The stadium was overflowing. Kids were climbing up in trees to hear what he had to say. The spirit of liberty spilt into the streets. That wasn't just a campaign, it was a culture awakening. It proved that when truth is spoken sincerely, ordinary people will move mountains to amplify it. But here's the irony. After that awakening, we didn't evolve into a true community. We split, branded, and built silos. We had the right idea, but not the right hearts. We wanted freedom, but not the humility that makes freedom sustainable. So we recreated pseudo communities, cliques of conformity dressed up as enlightenment, and just like Peck warned, those communities began to crumble under the weight of their own dishonesty. Peck said that the only way forward is through chaos, the painful stage where everyone drops the mask and finally speaks their truth. That's where the illusion dies and the real community begins. Maybe that's what this era is, our collective chaos phase in the freedom movement. The Ron Paul years planted the seeds. The natural law circles tried to water it, but the soil wasn't ready. We're still learning. Freedom isn't just absence of rulers, it's the presence of responsibility. And that's what makes the next stage possible: genuine, hard-earned community rooted in rooted not in appearances, but in truth. So tonight, as we watch or we read M. Scott Peck, let's not just analyze pseudo community as an idea. Let's hold up the mirror. Let's ask ourselves, where have we been pretending? Where have we avoided the discomfort that real growth demands? Because the dream of freedom, from Ron Paul to natural law to whatever comes next, will only come alive when we move beyond pseudo community into the real, raw, courageous connection, not fake peace, but earned peace, not shallow agreement, but shared virtue. That's where evolution begins, and that's where this movement becomes something real. Today, we're going to be reading from, where'd it go? We're going to be reading from A Different Drum by M. Scott Peck, who I know growing up, my mom read his other book called The Road Less Traveled and swear by it. And I know that is quite a popular book. I believe it's in the Ark. I think this one's in the Ark too, isn't it?
I
don't know if this is in the Ark.
Is the Road Less?
Should be.
Yeah, it should be. Mark's Ark.
Mark's Ark. So yeah, very good book. I'm going to post the StreamYard link. If anybody wants to come up and help us read this, it will be much greatly appreciated, because it's not the easiest thing to do for a long time.
That'd be great.
Sharing the load. You want to start?
Sure.
Ooh.
Drum. Stop that. You want to go over this part?
Yeah.
About the book. In The Different Drum, M. Scott Peck explores the transformative power of community and the essential role it plays in the quest for personal and collective peace. Through a compelling narrative that melds psychological insight with spiritual wisdom, Peck invites readers on a profound journey toward understanding how authentic connections can heal and empower individuals. He articulates the notion that true community is not merely a gathering of individuals, but a supportive network grounded in love, trust, and shared purpose. As he delves into the stages of community building, readers are encouraged to reflect on their own experiences, ultimately inspiring them to seek and nurture these vital connections in their lives. Join Peck in unraveling the intricate tapestry of human relationships and discover how embracing community can lead to a more fulfilled and harmonious experience. About the author, M. Scott Peck was an American psychiatrist and best-selling author renowned for his pioneering work in the field of personal development and spiritual growth. Born on April 22nd, 1936, Peck gained widespread recognition with the publication of his seminal book, The Road Less Traveled, which we just talked about, which combines psychological insight with spiritual wisdom, earning him a devoted readership. Drawing on his experiences in both clinical practice and his exploration of various philosophical and spiritual traditions, Peck focused on the importance of love, community, and personal responsibility in fostering meaningful connections and personal transformation. His work, including The Different Drum, emphasizes the significance of creating healthy communities through trust and communication, reflecting his holistic approach to mental health and human relationships. Chapter 1. Chapter 1. Understanding community and its significance in human connection. Community, according to N. Scott Peck in The Different Drum, serves as foundational to human connection and belonging. In a world where isolation and disconnection can often prevail, the concept of community emerges as a vital force that not only fosters relationships but also nurtures the individual spirit. At its core, community is not merely a collection of people, but a space where individuals find a sense of belonging, acceptance, and support. This belonging is essential as it fulfills a fundamental human need, the desire to connect with others in meaningful ways. Peck delineates between different types of communities, categorizing them into three primary types: functional communities, intentional communities, and true or real communities. Functional communities are typically defined by shared objectives or interests, where people come together for specific purposes, such as workplaces or clubs. While they provide a degree of connection, these communities often lack the depth necessary for profound personal relationships. Intentional communities, on the other hand, are formed with a deliberate purpose to foster meaning and closer ties among members. These can range from spiritual groups to co-housing arrangements where individuals consciously choose to live and interact with each other in committed ways. However, even intentional communities can sometimes miss the mark when it comes to nurturing authentic relationships. True communities, as Peck argues, embody a higher level of connectivity and understanding. These are environments where individuals are not just coexisting, but are genuinely supporting one another's growth and well-being. In true communities, participants learn to navigate their differences, fostering a rich tapestry of experiences and perspectives that enhances the shared human experience. This authenticity enables personal growth as individuals begin to explore and confront their real selves in an accepting environment. The synergy of collective effort in fostering an atmosphere of love, trust, and support leads not only to individual improvement, but also an enriching communal experience. In essence, the importance of community in Peck's philosophy resonates deeply with the core human experience. By providing a cradle for personal growth and development, authentic communities serve as much more than mere social structures. They become transformative spaces where lives can be changed, challenges confronted, and joys celebrated. Through understanding and nurturing these connections, individuals find not only a place to belong, but also a catalyst for their own evolution and flourishing.
Chapter 2, the stages of community development, from chaos to unity. The journey toward true community unfolds through 4 distinct and interrelated stages: pseudo-community, chaos, emptiness, and ultimately true community. Each of these stages is characterized by unique challenges and dynamics that must be navigated to foster authentic connections among individuals. In the first stage, pseudo-community, individuals come together with a facade of unity, often mistaken superficial interactions for genuine relationships. This stage is marked by an overwhelming desire for harmony and conformity, where people are reluctant to express their true thoughts and feelings. As a result, conflicts and deeper issues are swept under the rug, creating an illusion of peace. However, this stage inhibits genuine connections as individuals are not fully authentic or vulnerable. I'm going to read that again. The whole thing. In the first stage, pseudo-community, individuals come together with a facade of unity, often mistaking superficial interactions for genuine relationships. This stage is marked by an overwhelming desire for harmony and conformity, where people are reluctant to express their true thoughts and feelings. As a result, conflicts and deeper issues are swept under the rug, creating an illusion of peace. However, this stage inhibits genuine connections as individuals are not fully authentic or vulnerable. The challenge here lies in the collective resistance to acknowledge differences and conflicts, which are essential for real intimacy and growth. Boom. Right off the bat.
Yeah.
Hit the nail on the head.
Yeah. That's what we're
This
getting
guy.
into right now.
Transitioning to the second stage, chaos, marks a pivotal point in community development. And as individuals begin to express their true selves and voice their disagreements, the initial veneer of harmony dissolves. Chaos is characterized by tension, conflict, and disorder as differing perspectives clash. This stage can feel tumultuous and disheartening, heading many to retreat to the comfort of pseudo community. Where do we know of pseudo communities?
Fake community. It's
However, chaos is a necessary part of the journey.
oh shit.
It presents an opportunity for deeper understanding and assessment of one another's values and beliefs. Navigating through chaos requires courage and open communication, as it challenges individuals to confront conflict head on rather than avoiding them. Or, side note, people just run away and hide
Damn.
that aren't willing to face the real shit, that want to just stay in the pseudo community where everyone just slaps each other on the back.
Fuck that.
Mhm.
Well, I mean,
That was not M. Scott
It's
Peck.
hard to make it seem like that's
Once the tumult of chaos is acknowledged and worked through, the community enters the emptiness stage. This pivotal stage is one of introspect, where individuals recognize the need for genuine connection beyond surface level interactions. In this phase, community members may feel a sense of loss or disconnection, the realization that previous attempts at unity were insubstantial. Despite this comfort, emptiness offers the opportunity for profound personal growth and awareness. It encourages individuals to reflect on their own feelings, vulnerabilities, and the barriers they have erected by fostering a willingness to sit with discomfort and engage in honest dialogue. I wonder if we're here. Everybody's real quiet right now.
Mhm.
There was a
Yeah.
lot of chaos last couple
Yeah,
months.
I hope that we
Everybody's real quiet right now.
Yeah.
It encourages individuals to reflect on their own feelings,
Well, I mean-
vulnerabilities, and barriers they have erected. Yeah, I mean, we may have seen this because we've had some interactions with individuals who have seemed to change their positions and seem to have gone through this, at least individually themselves, and maybe questioning
Yeah.
some of the people around them.
I've seen a lot of that, especially recently. Holy cow. You should see my inbox. And just being someone this is the whole foreshadow work thing. Once someone forces you into this uncomfortable position, you're far more likely to consider your behavior and maybe consider how to change your behavior to not get yourself in that position again.
Oh yeah, because I thought she said that I'm fucked up,
It-
and
it
I was
takes-
trying to make sure that that's fucked up.
It's almost like you're getting taken down a notch. You're having to go back a little bit, or up Mount Stupid a little bit more, or down Mount Stupid a little bit more, something like that.
It brings to mind like the teachability chart.
Yeah.
And you have the
Good
on
one.
one
That's
end,
better. Yeah.
the completely skeptical versus the other end completely open, and then that key area is in the middle,
Mhm.
the area of teachability, to where you want the balance between skepticism and openness, so where you're able to question things and consider things without necessarily accepting them, et cetera, et cetera. That's where growth is.
Yeah, and the
Like,
freedom,
that's where you can grow.
and like the freedom movement's like, oh, don't believe anything, and that's where it's like, at least in the truth community, you gotta kind of find a balance to things. You
Gotta
can't
use
just
your
be
own
completely
judgment,
unbalanced
don't
with
you?
stuff.
Yeah.
You're not going to end up with the truth. But
Or
anyway,
any community.
yeah,
Any,
Damn.
any community.
it really doesn't even
Yeah,
matter
it's
the
not so easy. Is it?
context of the community. At least, I mean, we have different objectives and goals and reasons.
Yeah.
At the beginning, but still,
And
principles are the
communities
same,
usually
dynamics.
That's my
start around an idea
morality of different
or that everybody believes the same on, and then once you're around people, you realize that you don't agree with everything that everybody says, and not everybody's nice all the time, and then that's when the real stuff happens. And that's what I hope our community is at this point.
Well, shit, you're not
I'm pretty sure we're in chaos or this one, but anyway, it encourages It encourages individuals to reflect on their own feelings, vulnerabilities, and the barriers they've erected by fostering a willingness to sit with discomfort and engage in honest dialogue. Individuals can move through emptiness, paving the path for collaborative healing and reinvigoration. Finally, through the process of conflict resolution and mutual understanding, communities can emerge into the stage of true community. Our show tends to be
Stage is characterized.
a place for conflict resolution, and in any community, and at least without a serious government attached to it, there will be public conflict resolution, and your reputation means everything, in anarchist communities, at least.
Yeah.
Through the process of conflict resolution and mutual understanding, community can emerge into the stage of true community. Communities can emerge into the stage of true community. This stage is characterized by a deep sense of belonging, shared purpose, and genuine empathy among its members. True community flourishes when individuals embrace their differences and support one another's growth. The dynamic of trust, love, and acceptance create a nurturing environment where individuals can express their authentic selves without fear of judgment. In this stage, conflict is seen not as a threat, but as a catalyst for deeper connection, fostering resilience and interdependence. Overall, the journey through these stages underscores the critical importance of conflict and resolution in developing authentic relationships. Transformation occurs when individuals confront challenges, learn from one another, and commit to the ongoing process of building true community. It's through this evolution from pseudo community to chaos, when emptiness, and ultimately to true community, that people, sorry, a dog just ran by,
I thought it
that
was
people
funny as
can
heck,
find
yeah.
profound connections and meaning in their shared human experience. Each stage serves not only as a challenge, but also as an essential stepping stone toward a more united and understanding community. Whew. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Damn, that's more than I've ever done on camera.
So, any community that you join, this is not M. Scott Peck here, this is me talking. Any community you join where everybody's just getting along great and everybody just thinks everyone's great and everyone just seems like they're just in love with each other, you gotta question that, because it's most likely not one of these authentic communities. It's maybe a community in training wheels, but
it's a community in its honeymoon.
yes,
It's like a relationship.
exactly.
Like
Yeah,
a
everyone's
phase.
like,
you haven't had your first argument yet.
oh yeah, Bubba. The
Yeah.
dog, Bubba the
My
dog,
dog has something to say
agrees.
about it.
You like that?
Yeah.
You like that idea?
Thanks, Bubba.
So yeah, it's
I mean, we can talk. This reflects again. I mean, law of correspondence, right?
Yeah.
It's a relationship dynamic as well, and it is on a collective level. Where you have the stage, like I was saying, of like the honeymoon stage, and then the quality of the relationship is reflected by how much each individual in that relationship is willing to be open to growth and change and having good faith conversation. Just like a community, I mean, it's really just a relationship expanded amongst multiple people, friendship, whatever. But yeah.
Get a cigarette. Sorry, I'm listening.
overall, the journey through these stages underscores the critical importance of conflict and resolution in developing authentic relationships. Transformation occurs when individuals confront challenges, learn from one another, and commit to the ongoing process of building true community. It is through this evolution from pseudo community to chaos, then emptiness, and ultimately to true. Yes. Blocking people, running away and hiding. Hey. these aren't challenging your problems or challenging confronting. You're not confronting a challenge.
You're not putting
We're not
yourself in
running
the
away,
mode
we're right
for
there.
possible growth or
No,
development
people that are doing that, they're
of the
not trying to
community, right? I
grow.
mean, especially if people are deciding
There's a
certain
lot of them
individuals in the
too, dude. I
community
don't
should
know
be
what I'm
shunned
out
and
here
shut
right now.
out based off of,
Holy shit! There should be like at least 10
whatever. And we're talking about. I'm not even talking about anything specific. I'm
No,
saying
but
other
it's just
examples
a
of this.
behavior of it. And
But it's much easier. It's a much easier way to deal with conflict than to be open and vulnerable and genuine.
a lot of these
It's
guys
more difficult.
have been threatening to fight and kill me.
Well, that's just doubling down,
Yeah,
right?
man.
And
Yeah.
then it's even harder then to come out of that because
Yeah.
you've already doubled down, especially coming from the super masculine, especially being a man and
This
flexing
guy's
your
talking
ego.
about me.
It's hard then to come back from that, but then it's not impossible. It just takes that you have to be vulnerable, right? I was wrong. That's again going back to
People
the
don't like
macro.
saying that.
Yeah.
From pseudo community to chaos, then emptiness, and ultimately to true community, that people can find profound connections and meaning in their shared human experience. Each stage serves not only as a challenge, but also as an essential stepping stone toward a more united and understanding community.
Community that can weather storms and confrontations
Yeah.
and bad actors coming up and being able to get through it and move forward.
And yeah, a community, if criticized, doesn't run and hide, actually, challenges those claims.
Or I would say allows the claims to be
Well, this
challenged
is
at the very least.
Yes.
Not even accepts or denies the claims, but just allow the conversation.
Yeah, without emotional outbursts.
Oh, my bad.
Chapter 3, the role of love, a foundation for community building. Love is a central and transformative force in the formation of community. As M. Scott Peck articulates throughout The Different Drum, he asserts that love is foundational, not just as an emotional experience, but as an active commitment to care, respect, and nurture the well-being of others. In the context of community building, love transcends mere affection. It becomes a conscious choice to promote unity and connection among individuals. Got that 8th principle here. Yeah. Peck distinguishes between genuine love and counterfeit forms that are often mistaken for love, like dependency, neediness, and superficial affection. Genuine love is characterized by selfishness and the desire for a well-being of others without expecting anything in return. Selfishness. This authentic love is crucial for creating a safe space for individuals can express themselves freely, which is vital for the growth of any true community. In contrast, counterfeits can lead to manipulation, resentment, and division, undermining the very essence of community, which we've seen quite a bit this last year or two. It's always fun, side note, it's always fun finding stuff in stuff. Finding like natural law stuff or Passio stuff, like finding where he found it from. Yeah, it's always happens often these days. Oh, that's where he got it from.
Yeah. Well, there's like the truth is sprinkled in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and especially a lot of this
Just like, I know you
old,
somewhere before.
these wise writings. It's a lot of the same parallels going on, but then a bunch of other stuff, a bunch of other faff connected.
Well, it's separating the good shit from the bullshit.
Yeah,
that's kind of
the discernment.
It's Mark Passio's biggest talent, I would say, is helping kind of weave the tapestry of the truth from many different areas and into to get a better idea of what the actual truth is. But again, I mean, even with
And not-
this, with
A
this
broad perspective,
book, or like
right?
reviewing this book, that there's still, I mean, Scott Peck is still
Oh, so you're talking about
Yeah.
like there's in any of these books, like you'll see, you know, but it's all about seeing what's worth keeping, you know, and
Yes.
what's real and what's true and what works.
Scott Peck did lots of seminars with like corporations and big like Fortune 500, and so he started seeing patterns and everything in all these groups, and that's kind of where the value is in what he figured out. And it obviously got used for. Not that I have anything against corporations, but
And I don't know if this is because this is kind of like this is like summarizing each of the chapters. Like I'm not sure if it's gonna go over this specific example, but Heck talks about how in corporations and how also corporations, and I forget what other group it is, but people of like scholarly people like professors and stuff, people who are very intelligent. He was saying the pseudo community period lasts longer with highly intelligent people.
yeah, they stay in denial longer.
Because they're able to
Not stupid.
Yeah, well, just like socially,
Dunning-Kruger.
they're able to work around the difficult, you know, having to confront each other and having to confront differences.
Oh yeah, you've had to reinforce yourself for so long.
But yeah, it's just interesting because I thought about
just
that
making it right.
related to the natural law
your
community.
head.
We all
Corporations are
so
against natural law.
yeah,
They're
but-
false entities.
but in the upper echelons of corporations, you have generally higher IQ, left brain, smarter
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
you know? And so you just
And they got the money to feed into it more too.
Mhm.
Makes sense.
But it's interesting we can just take knowledge from the guinea pigs,
Yeah.
elite guinea pigs.
Yep. Exactly. It's culted information.
Yeah, so
The impact of love on community dynamics is profound. When love is present, it fosters trust and understanding among community members, encouraging open communication and collaboration. Love inspires individuals to support one another through challenges, creating a sense of belonging and security. As Peck points out, communities built on love are more resilient as they can navigate conflicts and difficulties together, turning challenges into opportunities for growth and deeper connections. Moreover, Peck emphasizes that love is not a passing feeling, but an active practice, one that necessitates continual effort and commitment. This practice includes listening, empathizing. I was just going to say this is some NBC stuff here. This practice includes listening, empathizing, and being vulnerable with one another. It requires community members to engage not only with the other's joy, but also with the sorrows and struggles, thereby forming deeper, more meaningful relationships. In this way, love helps to break down barriers of isolation and fear. And we got to obviously pay to get.
Yeah.
No,
I
there's
didn't
more.
see the last half of that.
But yeah, so there's a little mix.
Oh shit.
It mixes in a little NBC, right?
Yeah.
Where yes, it takes, like we're saying, that vulnerability, that openness to come into conversations in good faith, and you know, love's all important. But again, where NBC kind of strays from the path, if it strays into moral relativism, if we raise feelings to be as important as truth and just being, you know, our arbitrary, you know, emotions being held as the gold standard as to, you know, what's important, then it's like, you know, slippery slope. So yeah, again,
Marshall Rosenberg, who started NVC, Nonviolent Communication, he one of the things he really shocks everyone with is he says, you know, Mom, I was irritated at my wife for something she did, and she came in the room and she was like, "Oh, do you still do you love me?" And he's like, "Not right now," you know, and because he pushes this, oh, love is not something that you just have all the time. There are times where you don't love your partner, and there are times that you do, and it's something you always have to work towards. So like once I saw that, I was like, oh, this sounds like NBC, and then it was all, ooh, empathizing, vulnerable. Okay, yeah, like. Yeah.
I mean, it does say, Peck emphasizes that it's not a passive experience. And
yeah.
Love is a passive experience, and it's really just dependent on the
circumstances and what you feel at any moment. Yeah.
Like the deeper love of, no, it's not that, because in the moment, yes, you know, our feelings can sway, we have conflicts with it, whatever, your lover, members of your community, but having that stable base of, oh, I know this person's being genuine and being vulnerable, therefore I will hold them to that standard of just accepting as what they're saying is true. But truth is still important. There's still a right and wrong. If someone's causing harm, then it needs to be, despite if it hurts their feelings, being called out. It's very important to be discerning.
Yeah, if you're new to natural law and you don't know what new age bullshit is, check out Nonviolent Communication by Marshall Rosenberg. That's a good example of some new age bullshit. It's very convincing stuff. Marshall Rosenberg is a very charismatic guy, funny kind of dad type with lots of jokes, and says some really base shit sometimes. But Nonviolent Communication is new age bullshit. It's don't blame anyone for anything they do. We're all product of our environment, so we should just talk to each other.
Hearing shit around music festivals is the most I got.
Yeah, check out two episodes ago. Jana, NBC with Jana, 2 episodes ago, to learn about or actually check that out on Jana's website, janaesp.com, right?
She goes hard.
I do believe so.
Something like that. Go look at it or her website or on her YouTube. It's not on mine. And check out the rest of her stuff because she's one of the goats.
Yeah.
You wanna go?
I tried reading her entire.
Chapter 4: The importance of diversity. Embracing differences for stronger communities. Diversity is a cornerstone of vibrant and sustainable communities, as outlined by M. Scott Peck. Embracing differences among individuals enriches the community by introducing a variety of perspectives, experiences, and insights that ultimately lead to a greater understanding and collective growth. In a world where homogeneity often prevails, the strength found in diversity becomes increasingly crucial for building resilient communities that can navigate the complexities of human interaction. I'd say tactically too, and just survival-wise too. People coming from different backgrounds.
Shout out to Claire. She's turning 8.
Oh yeah, shout out to Claire. Happy birthday. Woo! The presence of diverse backgrounds cultivates an environment where learning and adaptation thrive. When individuals with differing viewpoints come together, it challenges the status quo, encourages critical thinking, and promotes creativity. This cross-pollination of ideas facilitates problem-solving and innovation, essential elements for any community striving to evolve. Peck emphasizes that when people are open to the perspectives of others, they can develop deeper appreciation for nuances in life, which fosters empathy and strengthens communal ties. However, embracing diversity requires intentional strategies that promote inclusivity and openness. Communities must actively work to create spaces where every member feels valued and heard regardless of their differences. This involves challenging existing biases and assumptions while being open to dialogue that seeks to understand rather than to judge.
Yeah.
Should I keep reading?
You guys are doing a good job at having a platform.
Workshops, discussion forums, and multicultural events can serve as platforms for sharing experiences and building connections among diverse individuals. Furthermore, community leaders should model inclusive behaviors, inviting participation from all members and ensuring that minority voices are amplified and respected. Peck also points out the importance of creating a culture of respect within communities. By recognizing and appreciating the distinct contributions that each member brings, communities can cultivate an atmosphere of belonging. Recognizing diversity is an asset rather than a challenge encourages collaboration and unity, enhancing group cohesion despite differences. This shift in perspective is vital for moving from superficial interactions to deeper, meaningful relationships, as it enables community members to support one another in their unique journeys. Ultimately, embracing diversity is not merely a matter of tolerance, but an active commitment to understanding the richness that differences bring. Acknowledging this can lead to profound growth, both personally and collectively, transforming the dynamics of the community. The process of opening up to diverse influences, when approached with vulnerability and curiosity, can lead to a more integrated and harmonious collective experience. Each individual's unique qualities contribute to the whole, creating a community that is more adaptable and capable of addressing challenges collaboratively. In this way, diversity becomes a powerful catalyst for resilience, innovation, and meaningful connection in the community, paving the way for a future that values inclusivity and embraces the beauty of differences.
Okay. Chapter 5.
And,
Oh no.
yeah.
Paving the way for future. Yeah, you said that.
Thanks, Angela, for the super chat. Yeah, helping us pay the StreamYard bill. I don't know what you think. I mean, this is a way of not causing resentment in a community.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
this is
true.
just kind of laying it out so you can really,
Personal.
you know, visualize and let it absorb of how to cause a community that's not going to break down from the inside out because someone's mad because they're not getting heard or something like that. But
I would say there's positive aspects, like we're just looking at this last chapter, there's positive aspects to what he's saying. And then there's some, it's a little murky. Again, we're kind of going diving into NBC territory. I'll say this part here, when individuals with differing viewpoints come together, it challenges the status quo. It's very important because people, you know, we don't want to get caught up in an echo chamber, especially when we're talking about activist communities or, you know, we're trying to educate people. Encourages critical thinking and promotes creativity. And again, these are all important things and positive things. When we're talking about judgments, again, we're kind of diving into like a little moral territory here, to where nobody's wrong, everybody's
no
right,
infighting.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find the part.
I get it.
Where is it talking about judgment? Here we go. However, embracing diversity requires intentional strategies that promote inclusivity and openness. Communities must actively work to create spaces where every member feels valued and heard, regardless of their differences.
I know that was.
But again, if we're talking about, you know, if the community's trying to come together to finish a project, then should the contributions of someone who has no experience, like you know, building a fence, we're all trying to build a fence, like should they feel equally valued?
People need to harbor their own value, or not harbor, but manifest their own value and voice. You know, like some people don't. You know, I don't know.
This involves challenging existing biases and assumptions while being open to dialogue to understand rather than to judge. Yes. Yeah. And also no, though, because we also we do need to use. We
must judge each other.
Part of discernment, we have to make judgment calls. Is harm being done by someone's actions? If we build this here, is it going to, you know, is it going to cause harm? Is it going to mess with? Like, we have to make judgment calls, and we have.
You have to merit people's values.
That doesn't mean that, you know, seeking to understand as equal, if not more value, but again, it's sort of this NBC language of no judgment holds any water, because there is no objective measure of anything. We
heard this week. What was that?
Gosh. Oh, that was Mark Waller. We were looking at another.
He's talking about
work.
Shadow work.
Yeah.
Being kind of a funny definition of it.
This is just another person, Mark Waller.
MD? PhD? PhD, not MD. I said that. That was my fault.
Yeah. He says that all
all judgments are projections.
Judgments are projections from our shadow.
Yeah. and I
really
don't
talking about that.
100%. 100% agree. That's part of it, but
It can be,
there, yeah, it
but there
can
can
be,
be
but
judgments that are not a projection, and it's a
absolutely,
judgment based off of whether it's a moral or ethical value
yeah,
judgment or something else based on our experience. Oh, I've been in this situation a certain amount of times, and most of the time this has happened. Therefore, I'm judging. If this situation happens again, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? Like there's objective basis behind some judgments, but that's not to say that projection isn't real and that we can be, you
yeah.
know,
But
doing that.
it's almost like it's a kind of an odd therapist cop out to tell people, oh, it's because of something that happened in your, and while it's very relevant to have things happen in
Oh,
your
it's all
childhood that affect
trauma.
your whole life.
Yeah.
It's almost like, oh, it happened when you don't remember, don't worry about it anymore, kind of thing. I don't know,
Maybe,
just
yeah.
a thought, but um judgment, any judgments are definitely not only projections. More often than not, they're not projections, I would say. um they're just people who want, it's basically an expression of the greater good
Expression.
of a community. um if you see something that's wrong, you need to open up your mouth about it, or else we end up in the shitstorm that we're dealing with now,
Oh.
with a bunch of people who depend on the state to do that. And yeah.
And then here in
Oh,
this paragraph,
shoot. That's not.
we're diving into like I don't know what it's called, affirmative action territory. Furthermore, community leaders should model inclusive behaviors, inviting participation from all members, and ensuring that minority voices are amplified and respected. So, like, first part, sure, like, should model inclusive behaviors,
This is
inviting
equality of
participation for all
outcome.
members, and ensuring. Yeah, like
So
you cannot ensure equality of
no,
outcome. You can ensure, well, you can promote equality of opportunity, perhaps, if you have the means, but you cannot ensure quality of
the
outcome.
amplification of the minority voices is quality or is,
And it's an arbitrary.
what is minority?
It's an arbitrary thing.
Yeah.
It's an arbitrary
Assumed
virtue
minority.
signal.
Yeah.
Because we're saying all minority voice. While yes, some may be oppressed, therefore they could use a little extra help to be amplified. Just to like blanket, that's like bureaucratic madness.
That's government bullshit.
Yeah, government status shit.
Yeah. You don't get like, that's like a anti-free market almost. It's
Right.
like, oh, we're gonna, the market's gonna be free and untouched, except this minority. We're gonna give them a little bit of an advantage. It's like, once you do that, the whole market, it's not a free market anymore.
But then that's not to say
it's a monopoly.
I understand, like on a smaller scale, like on a smaller community. Sure, let's say the community leaders, or let's say whoever is leading a conversation in a community, may have a more intimate or understand more the people in the community and know, okay, so, Bob over there has really good ideas, but he's really quiet and has a hard time speaking up. And so I'm gonna just, like we do on this podcast, right?
Yeah.
Like on an individual smaller scale, sure, like that's a good, you want to do that, and you want to make sure that the community isn't missing out on someone's good ideas at the very least because they're shy or something or quiet. Like, I see it in that way.
The way he's laying everything out is if there's a hierarchy, which obviously in an anarchist community there would be types of hierarchies, but not like to validate the authority, to have the ability to amplify a voice of a certain group requires a state. Thus you get taxation, war, factory farming. Yeah. Well, and he's a statist. He's not an anarchist. So
summarizing what he was saying, but minority voices, like as a collective, scary. On an individual basis, sure.
Yeah.
But again, it's like yes and no.
Yeah.
This is like, it's touching on some truth, but it's also kind of mixing it.
Well, there's really good truth in here. There's just some goofy shit on the side, which is your life's mission is to differentiate the goofy shit from the good shit.
What do you think about this here? So Peck also points out the importance of creating a culture of respect within communities.
You can't create respect without earning it. So that would be another thing that would be up to the people to create respect between themselves in the community. Kind of a weird statement, but this is we got to. He wrote this for corporate America, basically.
Yes.
So we
Yeah,
have
you
to like
keep that in mind.
keep that in mind, that it's very hierarchical, and you know, you got the manager, and you know, the chain of command, super important, just like the
Right.
military. So a lot of this stuff's going to be funny to hear to an anarchist. So next one by was that, were you done with?
That was five, or that was four.
Keep
So,
it real. Yeah.
I'll go. Chapter 5, Overcoming Barriers to Community, Confronting Fear and Resistance. Overcoming barriers to the formation of genuine communities is a critical endeavor described in The Different Drum by M. Scott Peck. The process of building authentic community is often obstructed by deep-seated fears and a profound sense of isolation. These barriers can stem from personal insecurities, past traumas, or societal conditioning that makes individuals hesitant to open themselves up to others. See, this is some good shit.
Mm-hmm.
Fear of vulnerability can create a significant impediment, as individuals may worry about judgment, rejection, or the emotional risks associated with deeper connections. It's if you got nothing to lose, you got nothing to lose. Peck elaborates on how these psychological barriers manifest in social dynamics. People may cling to superficial interactions rather than risk genuine engagement. Ding, 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 leading to an environment where isolation prevails and meaningful relationships remain unformed. Wow, where have we seen this? This underscores a paradox. The more we seek to connect, the more fear can drive us to withdraw. To address these challenges, Peck emphasizes importance of Peck emphasizes importance of confronting fear head on. That means not hiding and blocking. Rather than allowing it to dictate our allegations, he suggests allegations. He suggested that awareness, not beating the allegations. He suggests that awareness of these facts is a step towards overcoming them. By acknowledging the very existence of fear, individuals can begin to dismantle its control over their social lives. Further practical approaches involve fostering an atmosphere of openness and safety where vulnerability is welcomed rather than shunned. Creating spaces, both physical and emotional, where individuals feel secure to express their true selves is crucial for building trust. This can be achieved through structured group activities, group therapies, may I say, VGT Live, open dialogues, or shared experiences. Wow, who does that stuff? That encourage authentic connections. Wow. Darren. Join our cult. Peck advises the trust must be cultivated gradually, as consistent, genuine interactions allow individuals to feel seen and valued. No love bombing.
No love bombing, though.
No love bombing, no threatening lives. When empathy and understanding are at the forefront of community interactions, the walls of isolation begin to crumble. Another essential aspect of overcoming barriers is the practice of active listening. By genuinely hearing one another's stories and experiences, community members can foster a sense of belonging and empathy. This engagement not only deepens individuals' connections, but also contributes to the collective fabric of the community. Peck argues that as members become more aware of the community, the shared humanity, fear, Peck argues that as members become more aware of their shared humanity, fear diminishes. This mutual recognition is key to building robust relationships where individuals feel comfortable to share their vulnerabilities. We're getting a little bit more MVC stuff here. Not bad aspects of NVC, like it's true.
Yeah. They want you to come clean,
You know, the more you
so you don't feel
become aware of how human your neighbors are, you know, you don't scare them as much. The state media tells us to be scared of our neighbors, so they can tax us to death for keeping, you know, being there in case our neighbors want to kill us or something.
Glad
You know,
you
like
picked it up. I feel like
that's how they keep
that
the
movie.
fear going, and that's how they keep the state relevant. No people if people had no problem with anyone in their neighborhood, they're going to be less apt to give a bunch of money to the cops to keep their neighborhood safe. If they have, you know,
There's
a tight community.
mediators, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just imagine if there are resources, people in the community who knew the individuals of the community better and are able to
The most
respond
level
to
heads
some
of the
scene.
community. Yeah.
Versus having to call the cops, but high chance of someone might, being shot. It may not even be the right person to be shot. The right quote unquote, if that's assuming someone deserves to be shot in a situation. Yeah.
We've talked about this a lot over the years about how a tight community can deal with problems quite a lot better than the state can in many, 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 many ways. Organically, almost like it's like the free market, natural law in action, how the community will come up with the right solution for a problem if left without government interaction. They'll find the correct consequence or solution to that problem. I've told the story many times on my show about how when I lived in Nicaragua, crazy guy who's always running through town, screaming bloody murder, Tourette's, probably who knows what mental health problems, was having a bad day, and he came into the local bodega market where all the ladies were cooking, and he was screaming and yelling, and all the ladies jumped up out of their chairs and started dancing with him. And 2 minutes later, he's got the biggest smile on his face. They're like doing the Polpa de Mayo on him, which is where the twerking came from, Central American dance, the Polpa de Mayo. And this dude, after walking into the market, having a bad day, left having a great day. And it happened in front of me in like 2 minutes. And I was just like, if that happened in the US, the cops would have come and shot him.
Yeah.
You know?
Poor guy. Yeah.
But that community is tight. That was one of their brothers who they've known their whole life to have this problem, and they knew how to deal with him. No, they didn't even miss out on 5 minutes of work, and they made this guy's day, and it was hilarious. I don't know. I was just kind of blown away by it, but I don't know how I got into that, but
dude, because people's
this
kind of connects me with this. I just looked up the state here. Peck argues that as members become more aware of their shared community, fear diminishes. This mutual recognition is key to building robust relationships where individuals feel comfortable to share their vulnerabilities. So, I mean, like even going back to your experience, like, the members of that community in Nicaragua seeing that as, oh, hey, this is just a human.
It's just Bob.
He gets a little crazy.
Bob's having a bad day.
Yeah, just dance versus just people living in fear.
Yeah.
Fear
of the crazy people.
We need a solution. Oh, what is the solution presented to us in the state? We must call the cops to care of this.
And like here, it's like, oh, look at this crazy person. Look at this man who lost his mind. What a piece of shit. You know, like where he probably knew that was the place to go to, the dancing or the crazy guy in Nicaragua. Like he probably knew he could go say hi to them and they'll
cheer him up.
And yeah, it's just like the community in action dealing with problems that somehow first you know, like somehow in an impoverished country they figured it out, but we have no idea here. It's first world country. We can't figure these problems out. Ali and I were just in downtown LA, and the homeless problem is overwhelming. We both grew up in LA pretty much, and it's worse than it's ever been, and it's shocking. And the fact that politicians have billions and billions of dollars, California, to do something about that. And in our lifetimes and in the last 100 years, they haven't been able to figure something out. It's just mind-boggling. So this mutual connection, this mutual recognition is key to building robust relationships where individuals feel comfortable to share their vulnerabilities. Moreover, resistance can also stem from preconceived notions about community or previous negative experiences. And those would be, and that's a problem in a community. That's unlearning bullshit, brainwashing, and dealing with your own reactions to normal things, dealing with your own inner demons or your shadow, and not reacting in a bad way to something that might, you might have had. It's like an anecdote, a bad anecdote. Like you had a bad experience, maybe a million other people don't. So,
and you just replay that pattern of some conflict,
reading the room and using discernment. Yeah.
Conflict comes up, and in your head, you're like, okay, this is what's going to happen. This is how
we can't do this.
You get stuck,
Yeah.
Negative cycles. But yeah, breaking negative cycles.
And facing your shadow when you get triggered by hearing about those situations. Moreover, resistance can also stem from preconceived notions about community or previous negative experiences. Peck encourages individuals to reflect on these beliefs and challenge them. Shadow work. Boom. By actively choosing to engage in community life and addressing personal biases. Personal biases, religious, political bullshit that's been shoved into your ears by the powers that be your whole life.
Oh yeah.
Not true beliefs that you believe is the truth on the inside, but
Things
reactions that have been brainwashed into you, negative reactions that only feed these powers that be's agenda. They want you thinking a certain way, so they're going to use millions of dollars and generations and all the media to convince you to get triggered by hearing this thing, hearing this idea, or seeing this situation, and you get triggered by it and you don't know why. We always talk about you should always question whenever you get triggered and be like, is this really me, or is this something I just learned from my environment?
What we're talking about is the judgment a projection?
Yes.
Or is it actually based on
a projection of myself?
Principle or something,
Yes. By actively choosing to engage in community life and addressing personal biases, one can actively reshape their perspectives, allowing a richer and more fulfilling communal experience to unfold. Transforming fear into hope requires commitment and practice, but as individuals let go of past grievances and open themselves to new experiences, they can rediscover the power of connection. In essence, overcoming barriers to community involves confronting internal fears. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Oh.
Nurturing
Who dat?
and actively engaging with others in a supportive environment.
Link is up if anyone wants to come up and help read or comment. In essence, overcoming barriers to community involves confronting internal fears, nurturing vulnerability, and actively engaging with others in a supportive environment. By learning to trust, communicate openly, and embrace diversity, individuals can break free from isolation, experience the transformative power of authentic community. Peck's insight provided a roadmap for navigating these emotional landscapes, laying the groundwork for a journey towards true connection and belonging, ultimately fostering communities that support personal and collective growth. Your turn.
My turn?
Take a sip real quick. What's up, Lafayette, Indiana in the house? What's up? Smash that like and subscribe button, y'all. Pew, pew, pew.
Let's make sure.
You better smash it.
right? So chapter 6,
Yeah.
the path to true
Should I'd
community.
smash again if I could.
Principles
sadly.
and principles and practices for lasting bonds. In the different drum, M. Scott Peck outlines essential principles and practices for nurturing and sustaining authentic communities. Besides intentionality, the commitment are crucial to community building. A fundamental principle is that genuine community thrives on shared values and mutual respect, which can be cultivated through open dialogue and active participation. Individuals are encouraged to engage not only on superficial levels, but to delve deeper into their interactions, fostering relationships that go beyond mere convenience.
Oh, wow.
Peck suggests that creating environments conducive to community development demands intentional effort from each member. This involves providing spaces, both physical and emotional, where individuals feel safe to express themselves authentically. Did we read this already? Opportunities for collaboration and shared experiences can enhance bonds within the community. Activities that revolve around common interests, challenges, and goals can cultivate a sense of belonging and interdependence among members. Another essential practice Peck highlights is the importance of ongoing communication. Communities thrive when there is a culture of transparency and openness.
Oh, you mean not blocking and hiding?
I have
Block,
them
hide, and ignore? I have them blocked. Oh,
Transparency and
pull it up.
That's what I was trying to do earlier.
Transparency and openness.
I have them blocked.
No, we did it again. Another essential practice Peck highlights is the importance of ongoing communication. Communities thrive when there is a culture of transparency and openness. This means encouraging members to articulate their thoughts, feelings, and grievances without fear of judgment. Regularly scheduled gatherings, whether formal meetings or casual get-togethers, can help facilitate these conversations and serve as a platform for collective problem solving. Therapy. Yeah.
If we continue to be condescending as fuck, none of them are going to watch it.
It's not even condescending.
I know.
Okay,
Boom.
almost at the end. Okay,
No.
It keeps
going.
scaring me then.
Yeah.
Okay. Additionally, Peck underscores the significance of accountability within a community. Members should feel a shared responsibility for maintaining the health and integrity of the community. This includes addressing conflicts constructively rather than allowing resentment to fester. By establishing conflict resolution processes that promote understanding and empathy, communities can reinforce bonds.
Wait, what the fuck?
I think.
Let's just scroll.
Damn it.
I don't know, dude. I'm sorry. I got too into my feelings.
Oh, this is fun.
Yeah. No idea.
Chapter 7.
Conclusion. The transformative power of community in our lives. No, people probably wouldn't hear it more.
In conclusion, M. Scott Peck's The Different Drum. See, I wish I had StreamYard, motherfucker.
Chapter 7. Okay. Conclusion. The transformative power of community in our lives. In conclusion, M. Scott Peck's The Different Drum offers profound insights into the nature of community and its essential role in our lives.
Oh boy.
Hello.
Hello.
Howdy.
Hello.
You're alive, sir?
Do you come in peace?
I come in peace. I'm
Whoa.
here to help read.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, oh, great.
Cool.
Awesome.
Maybe you could do the last one then.
Sounds
Yeah, can you
good.
read from,
Can you read
from
that?
on the screen there?
I can blow it up maybe.
Uh,
Oh, that's different.
Look at this floating in the text.
There we go.
Is
No
there?
pressure.
I'm just making sure that I understand the screen here. Okay, so
Chapter 7.
so
Don't
just
be a
read.
Luddite.
Well, I've never StreamYarded.
Babe, will you help me?
Whoa.
Yeah, just read and I'll scroll down as you get down to the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Transformative power of community in our lives. In conclusion, M. Scott Peck's The Different Drum offers profound insights into the nature of community and its essential role in our lives. The book emphasizes that authentic community serves as a powerful catalyst for personal growth, emotional well-being, and social connection. Peck carefully delineates the stages of community development, highlighting that this journey often begins in chaos and conflict that can lead to a deeper, more unified existence. He posits that love is at the core of genuine community, distinguishing between real love and superficial affection, which significantly impacts the strength and dynamic of relationships within a community. Additionally, Peck points out the vital importance of diversity, asserting that embracing our differences enriches the communal experience and fosters resilience. The acknowledgement of different perspectives not only facilitates understanding but also inspires growth within individuals and the community as a whole. However, to cultivate such vibrant connections, it is essential to confront barriers such as fear and isolation. Peck encourages vulnerability and trust as crucial components in dismantling these obstacles, enabling people to engage deeply with one another. As readers reflect on the principles and practices laid out in the book, they are invited to actively participate in nurturing their communities, fostering environments where relationships can flourish. Ultimately, Peck's message resonates with the transformative powers of community, illustrating that when we embrace our shared humanity and work together toward common goals, we can create connections that lead to profound personal and societal change. The journey toward building and sustaining meaningful relationships is ongoing, but as Peck suggests, it is a journey worth undertaking, a quest that enriches both individuals and the larger community.
I wonder if the next question would be: can a community can a successful community exist on the internet?
Like digitally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big question.
Well, I guess that would depend on if
Because IRL
really going online.
definitely is changes things.
I would say the only hope for that would be a platform like this, to where it's not face to face IRL, but there is a face to face component, or at least like audio talking, not just text. Because I think that's
Yeah,
maybe a lot gets
yeah.
lost there, just like even just like
Just
bonding.
showing your face and talking normally and not typing. It's like
Oh yeah,
that's human interaction that is ingrained in our heads that we
the timing,
thrive from.
yeah, the
So,
visual
And
cues,
you know,
all that is important when talking to
I
partners.
would
huh?
I would intuitively agree, but what is it exactly that you think creates the barrier there?
The lack of tone, so you can't understand exactly
Like,
where they're coming from.
what would make it so that it would be harder to build a community
On the internet,
um
On the
on the
internet.
internet? Yeah.
well, outside of pure just physical interaction.
Yeah, I guess so. Or what is it that makes the physical interaction so important?
Well, we have the problem here where all like my trolls, I'll get them up here and they'll just be nice because they're face to face, and it's like
Mm,
that's that first section of this. What we're talking about is this pseudo nice, where it's like, no, we're not buddies, like
Well, I
we're
think
here to debate.
it's the barrier of communication. I think that's what it comes down to. Like there is like where certain people can get by just like typing, and whether it's through just like texting or whatever, communicating. Like there is a lack of possible maybe like conflict resolution or bonding, or like it's just there's something that maybe gets lost. I don't think it's impossible just to build digital
That's
communities.
yeah.
I think it's just it depends on the individuals participating in those communities, and I think maybe a digital community might people just don't have that experience expressing themselves and interacting with people digitally or like through text, that they won't be able to participate as much as certain people. But it like yeah, I think it just like it depends. But
Yeah, that's why it's a question, because I don't really know.
right.
And I mean, but at the same time, from our experience in the last couple of years, we're kind of seeing this community we're a part of that's online go through this stuff, and like
Mm,
we're kind of trudging through
Yeah.
it a little bit. And like, whether or not the show's been a catalyst or a chaos agent, we definitely got things shook up and got maybe us into one of these next steps. Because there's just everyone in this community that they just all kiss each other's ass all the time. That's all they do. That's
Well,
all they fucking do.
there's been conflicts within the community.
Yeah.
But they were just kind of quietly swept. The community building didn't progress to the next stage. It was just kind of forgotten about, and members removed themselves from the community.
It's the hiding thing. Nothing's ever going to progress if you don't take the next step. And running and hiding and avoiding conflict, it doesn't end well for anyone, really.
Right.
Why doesn't your like button work?
I don't know.
That's pretty
like
strange.
I'll hit it and nothing happens. Like it's been going on for a while.
Yo yo.
Darren,
What up?
you look like a gangster. You look like an American
Rockstar
narcissist.
Are you mixing stuff?
Yeah.
Mixing
Say
stuff.
that.
Are you a hardcore kid now?
Yep. I mix
Yeah.
hardcore stuff with hip hop stuff and metal
Oh,
stuff.
shit.
Nice.
And some kung fu stuff.
Yeah. I just got
That's
back
good.
from class, so that's
Sick.
why I'm a little late. So what you guys up to?
We just read like a kind of a cliff notes on the different drum and Scott Peck talking about the pseudo community and everything, and it just reads exactly what we've lived this last couple years.
Very relevant.
Very, very, very fucking relevant. There is some bullshit in it, like the Kabbalion. Like again, there is a little bit of woo-woo, new age bullshit in it, but it's very obvious to at least me. And like we understand where the guy comes from with it, and he's like a corporate motivation guy, so it's like he would go into these giant rooms and get everyone motivated or something and talk to like individually about problems, conflict resolution within the corporate community. And he saw these patterns and wrote a book about it, about how like everyone when a business starts, everyone's like, whoa, we're gonna take over the world, and then like reality sets in and everyone fights because everybody's too many captains on the ship. It's just it's everything that we've seen with the network and the truth community and the natural law community.
Psychology.
Yeah.
It's repeatable. It's just not written for people trying to organize anarchist societies built on like mutual aid to like subvert the state. So it's like
status rhetoric,
like,
Yeah.
But
it's got a little
but there's gold in it also.
There's gold in it
yeah.
also.
And patterns in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You kind of nailed down.
He has a lot of insights.
Yes, yeah. A lot of exposure and case studies kind of.
Yeah.
I've been giving it a thought as far as like how anarchy works, and that video you shared of Mark's interview when he was saying freedom is for the good. What do you do when most people aren't interested in being free or good?
Yeah.
Can you force it on them? I don't think you can.
I mean, normally I would say, well, the American Revolution was successful with only 10% of people agreeing to it, but that's status bullshit, and they used force. And they killed people, which isn't the right way to do anything.
And it was a temporary, temporary thing, right? So, in other words, like when you take medicine when you're sick, or it seems like government is an attempt at a remedy for the problem of evil.
For sure.
And a replacement for the community that we're talking about trying to build.
So that's why it's like you gotta, it's better to set the stage, which takes longer and it's harder, but set the stage for people to be ready to let go of the attachment to this proxy parental figure of government. The violent revolutions, people think they're gonna like pull off a Band-Aid. It's not the case, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, once you show people, hey, these are the patterns that occur, it's like it's easier to spot the pattern, right? And then once you're aware, that's the whole we need
Yeah.
anyone individually or collectively being able to change anything, at least being able to like see what the fuck is happening.
Right.
But
Even if someone like had freedom, experienced freedom, unless they are able to understand how they got it and articulate
And
it
how
to
to
others,
retain it. Yeah.
yeah, then it's kind of just a
Temporary.
fluke, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not going to be repeatable. So I think the education, yeah,
Yeah.
is very important.
Becoming
We're
ungovernable.
doing here, and
Becoming ungovernable. So people actually
Mhm.
know what to do if we wake up without a government. What do you think, Guy? You said you wanted to talk to me about this.
Well, I don't know if that's the exact. Is this just any subject, or
Yeah,
I mean,
we're just bullshitting it. Well, we're kind of
yeah,
talking about like it's kind of on
community
subject
and
still.
well, yeah, we're kind of
okay,
Community is
touching on
government,
government
on
level.
a different level.
right. I mean, my broadest question would be because I've kind of been thinking about how to approach it, but I think it would be kind of like if you were to wake up tomorrow and it was your ideal nation, like what would that look like?
So a lot of people think that, oh, if government was gone tomorrow, it would be like the Wild West. Everybody would be fighting in the streets and all this garbage. But if you woke up tomorrow and you didn't have to pay 50% of your wages to a federal government, wouldn't you be like super stoked to go to work and keep things going for the greater good of the world? I think most people would still go to work. It wouldn't be like expecting a smooth transition is ridiculous, obviously. But I think most people would continue doing what they're doing. I mean, we're in a government shutdown right now.
Question though is what your ideal is.
Oh, what the ideal?
Tomorrow,
What?
yeah.
Yeah, like what would be
Oh,
your
well, you would have a choice to opt yourself out of government stuff.
oh,
That's it. That's all anarchy is.
right.
There
What
still
about
will
in
be
your-
rules, huh?
What if in your ideal though would there even be a government opt out of though? You know,
Well,
because like
the ideal would be okay. So
chaos.
without like describing how, without describing how it would look like on a map, I have a kind of hard way of doing it. But so all of our cities that we have now would stay the same. They would just the free market, privatized free market would start coming up with solutions for firefighting, personal security, community roads. There was a guy who came up here and debated me about roads, and I was like, bro, toll roads are kind of the greatest invention in the world for
I
keeping
watched
places
that.
safe. Yeah. I had a bunch of people hit me up that were like, "Ooh, when you said toll roads, I got so mad." But 20 seconds later, I was like, "Holy shit, that's fucking right!" Like, there's so many ways to make our cities safer using the free market. Well, I can't even give you an example of what the free market's going to bring because I have no
Right.
idea, and it could be anything. But insurance-based communities where in order to get into that town you have to prove with your reputation online that you're a good person, and you have to buy insurance that teaches that when you look at the contract, it tells you, hey, if you want to be in this community, you can't do these things, and if you violate these things, your insurance company will pay the restitution for these things. Your insurance will go up. You might be kicked out of this community. So you'd have, instead of right now where whatever the guys in DC come up with, we have to just deal with it. We have no choice. We have the different flavors of cities, just like they are now. San Francisco is a different place than Dallas, Texas. Florida is a different place than New York. California is a different place than Oregon. Like you have different cities that have different flavors of what the people like in those cities. So that wouldn't change. The only
Right.
thing that would change is that these communities would kind of become little countries in a way, that where the free market solutions for governments, things, like all the things government gives us, all the free market solutions are competing against each other, thus forcing the prices down and the quality up, which is the opposite when you have government monopolies, which force the quality down and the price up, how we have it now. It's kind of hard to completely explain how the country would look like, but it wouldn't become the Wild West. It would advance greatly. Imagine, the unemployment, the biggest government is the biggest reason unemployment numbers are as high as they are. All of a sudden, if everybody's allowed to start a business out of their fucking garage, people that are willing to work for $10 an hour when minimum wage was 15, like, what's wrong with someone agreeing on someone offering a wage and someone agreeing to it and having a job, instead of that wage being illegal and that guy not having a job? Like, everything we're doing now is backwards. And basically the communities would become these really cool, free market insurance based communities. And if you fuck up your reputation or invalidate yourself from getting insurance, you're going to have to kind of go live out in the areas that aren't so nice,
Right.
Maybe it's plenty nice out there in the in between lands, but you can't live in those cities where the economies are probably really fucking good, or you don't even need to be there because cities are kind of fucking retarded. Hopefully,
Well, that's the
if
thing.
anarchy
Like,
if
I have a
anarchy
problem
came
with-
around, the cities would hopefully kind of disband after a time, because cities only exist for efficient taxation. They don't exist for the convenience
Right.
of the people at all. It's so
You
the
notice
state can
how,
take
like,
all
there
your
is
money.
nowhere where poor people can actually live. Like, if you wanted to work a minimum wage job and save money, you can't do that. But in an anarchist society, you can live on the outskirts, pitch a tent, make a
Yeah,
Right.
shanty shack, and you can save your money and actually get something, dude. Like people used to do. They used to, like, sleep under a tent, then they'd save their money and, like, build a cabin.
well, money, even in anarchy land, money is going to be so different. Like,
Right.
and like the insurance to get into these communities is going to be a fucking $1 a month, because most likely, not 9,000 out of one time, this isn't a murderer that you're letting into the community. So these, the reason we have high insurance is because everybody's fucking up on it. Like, if you have this community where everyone there is legit, everyone has a tight community, no one's fucking fighting with each other, trying to kill each other, driving drunk, doing crazy, dumb, irresponsible things, being an immoral piece of shit. These people aren't going to be in these cities. They're going to be out in the other place, which I call the Badlands, but it's not even going to be Badlands. It's just not in a community that doesn't want it. Because a lot of anarchist guys,
imagine, like,
a lot of anarchists think anarchy is, I get to do anything, but that's not anarchy. Anarchy is very different.
Yeah, but anybody
no
gets to kill you when you violate their rights, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. But like, money in these, like, in communities with decentralized currencies, like, the buying power of the money is going to be far higher, because it doesn't have government sucking off, of it, destroying any balance to any kind of economics going on. So you're going to be having where you might work 2 months out of the year and have enough money to take the rest of the time. We're supposed to be fucking partying. We're not supposed to be working our fucking asses off. So, like,
work is made
and there's
up.
enough resources. The Mother Earth gives us enough to get by. So it's like, there's enough resources. We don't need to be working like we do, and it's immoral to be working how we do.
Imagine a society that's not just economically different in this way that we're talking about, but it's so culturally different. And let's say, because if we're talking about ideal, right? A healed society where children are being raised better and people are having better relationships
For
and are
generations.
not having to kind of go into escapism through like materialism, right? And all these stand-ins that are given by the government or whatever powers that be. So it's like, it's hard to even say, like, you can
What's it
kind
gonna
of
look like?
begin to say what it would look like, but it's just like our foundational, like what we think we fundamentally need, or like how we think we fundamentally need to like solve the problems of like the resources that we all need. Like it would look, I think, way different. I think there would be insurance societies in like whatever cities or towns, but then even some of like the Wild West towns, they'll have their own organic solutions for regulating and dealing with bad actors and immoral people outside of the insurance system. Even, you know what I mean? Like
like if the rule is don't go on someone's property, you get shot. You don't go on someone's fucking property because that's the community agrees that that's the local rule. So you know,
wouldn't you think inevitably some cities or communities or states or however you would want to look at it, some communities would inevitably form government? Yes. Like, I mean, if they just came together as
anarchy doesn't mean no government.
Right.
It means no rulers. No rulers, no
But, like,
slaves.
No mandatory government.
So
no mandatory. That's what I was saying earlier about the opt out, the ability to opt out.
Like you want to go live in the
These
Badlands,
community, if you want to live in a community with a government, you could go do it. If you want to live in a community, a super liberal community, there'll be super liberal communities. There will be communist communities.
Right.
There will be socialist communities, but you'll have the ability to leave them if you want.
Right.
That's what we don't have now.
It's not capitalism versus communism. People who want to form voluntary communes and
can do that under anarchy.
I mean, really,
right.
having that without having that, control and that monopoly, because government's really just. I mean, we're kind of living. Anarchy just is the natural state of things, and government is like the armed, like the armed force that we're all worried about that's going to take over in anarchy. It's just the way the system is now and how society is and culture progress, but. Those causal ingredients being different would we could the scope of what societies would look like would be much
very different.
Imagine how they are now. But like you said, like absolutely, there's people who want to just live in a safe place and they don't care. I've got nothing to hide. They can
cameras everywhere. You know, yeah.
And if they want to live that template of a life,
they can do it.
People can voluntarily, do anything.
But I don't want that.
Yeah.
So how come I'm not heard? Because I didn't vote, right?
Right.
Like, give me a fucking break, Like the two guys you gave me don't even represent anything that I want.
What is the way today? Isn't there a way like through religious exemption or something to essentially opt out? Like, is there any option?
Well,
for
there's
that?
the sovereign citizen movement. That's a kind of a joke.
Well, no, are you talking about like tax-free, like exemptions?
I guess it would be specifically tax-free, but you can't obviously you can't opt out of laws.
No.
But like
there's some like drug laws they've been able to do, like there's like exemptions for like
religious stuff,
ceremonies and stuff.
But it's all like you got to pay all this money to do it.
And then get the shoddies.
Yeah.
The religious exemptions for those, I mean, it used to be. I don't know if that
they don't do it anymore.
Put your kids in public school without getting those, but yeah, it's like you're bargaining with the biggest mafia that there is, essentially.
Yeah.
Which kind of is what it is, and there's loopholes that can be found and established. And
but they're still holding a gun to your head.
You're asking your violent robber to kindly give you some of
a little bit back. A little bit of your rights back. Yeah. While they manipulate the market to work against you any chance they get. And they keep us living in a desperate state of almost out of money.
Don't they also have rules about like religious communities and tax exempt things that they can't like make political speeches?
Yeah, no. Okay, so churches And anyone who takes any group that takes money from the government can't be political openly. So any church that takes tax exemption, Dr. Peter Rogers, homie who we had on the show, he brought it up in one of his videos. He was like, back in the day, like Gulf, when before the wars, and like they, like, because I remember, who was it? Stefan Molyneux did this video where he was like, these fucking pastors, they started bombing the fucking Middle East, and these guys said nothing about it, and he was really pissed. And it was a dope video. It was like a really dope video. And turns out Peter Rogers is like, oh, if you take tax exemption as a church, you're not allowed to have political opinions in public.
Sell your soul for a tax exemption.
Fucking tax exemption for your fucking church. Unreal. Millions of dead people in the Middle East, and these fuckers could have swayed the nation, and they didn't over a tax exemption. And they're supposed to be the holiest, most caring, most compassionate.
Sitting at the tables, they should be flipping.
Yeah, like crazy. Yeah, natural luck, Hartman. Oh, is that the beanie? Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
The Punisher. Pissed off Cartman.
Yeah.
So what else, Guy? What other questions you got?
Okay, so hypothetically, this transition could not happen suddenly, right? Like, because we're talking about
we haven't had a government for a month or something.
Well, okay, but the federal
how would it be any different?
Kinda,
what if they never came back? What if the government never came back? It would have happened.
They still have control.
Fine. It's not chaos.
They still have control over the military right now, though.
Yeah, so the military is full of our brothers and sisters who believe in the greater good of humanity. There are a lot of psychos, obviously, but they're in the minority. This idea that somehow the government's going to become used against us, I think is the military is going to be used against us, is absolutely ridiculous.
No, I'm not really worried about that.
Yeah. But yeah, the government would come home from all the bullshit wars we're in, because they wouldn't be funded anymore. They'd have to back out,
find a new job, right?
And find new jobs, and probably, make America great again. Like, we'd have far less crazy people committing suicide.
But yeah, like, it wouldn't happen overnight, right? Like, it would take time for the whatever solutions, the organic solutions to form. Like, it would take them,
Thank you, Rachel. Helping keep the StreamYard going.
Because I was just thinking, like, as far as like national security, there would have to be some sort of replacement networking system. So everything would have to stay running and stay maintained and funded, essentially, but without tax dollars.
So these communities that would pop up, they would have private security firms would come to fruition to, they wouldn't be like, you'd have private security firms for police, and then you'd have their part of your insurance money that you pay to be in that community will go towards funding the border security,
and militia.
And then these cities can combine with other cities to defend maybe a larger border. And the thing is that outside of government, war is psychotically fucking expensive, and rarely you get paid back, for doing anything, and so, like, just the economics of it in a free market, it wouldn't make sense. No one would want to do it because it's too destructive and it's too expensive.
What if every soldier had to buy their own rifle?
Yeah.
A lot of people wouldn't be able to join the military because they can't afford, like, all their gear right there.
Yeah, like
and wars don't really happen
worth of shit
in the absence of government either.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, the need for defense, so much of it, we need it. We need
a military to defend us from militaries.
Yeah, that we basically, we bombed people in the Middle East 50 years ago. They're their kids, the kids of the people that got bombed 50 years ago we started a war with those guys because they were mad at us. And then now we bombed those guys in the 90s, and now their kids, we're dealing with them now. So it's like blowback.
The U.S., the government has dissolved. All the people, all of the bases we've pulled out of, all of our how many hundreds of bases that are all around the world. Yeah. But just the need for defense, like I think a lot of the infrastructure,
reasonable defense.
Border defense.
You know how to say the base?
It wouldn't be needed. We don't need as much as we have. We don't need to be off in other countries. We could, like, with a third of the military we have now, this isn't even. It wouldn't even be looked at like that in anarchy land. There wouldn't be a big monolithic military that flies around the world and bombs on people, because the people would never pay for it unless they've been brainwashed like we've been brainwashed. So it's all about education. It's all about making yourself ungovernable in a community that's ungovernable, an ungovernable community that the second someone comes along and is like, hey, we're like, fuck you, nah, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to let it get as bad as it got, especially.
It's possible,
but
choose to go there.
Yeah, so the private security thing, and these are just hypotheticals that I'm coming up with. I don't even know what would happen if the real free market was going to figure this out. I mean, they got drones. You look at what's going on in Ukraine, man. Like, there's crazy ways of just like scaring places into submission to where like no one even fights anymore because everyone's shit's too scary. Like we've never really been like that. We've always been. The U.S. has always been the biggest one, or at least in the past 80, years or something. And so it's been like attrition. What if everyone has the same type of defense and it's horrifying as shit? And we're all a more moral community, the whole humanity is more moral. And in these communities, with the better economies and with the better money, people aren't going to be in this desperate, I need to go rob, kill, start wars, to get more money, like this, things would be different. Like the whole scenario is going to be different.
Able to survive without money.
Yeah.
Like if I agree to do some work for you in exchange for some clothes and a tent, like
right.
Money is kind of like
bartering still exists.
A banking system as it is enabling all this stuff. I mean, our credit cards as a nation are maxed out. Like there's more money than exists. Like anything to back it up. It's all a fraud. I mean, it's just IOU slips on paper and on digital ledgers. But when you guys said stuff about the bases, I just remembered that Al Qaeda in Arabic means the base, and yeah, it's a little bit deep state.
Shout out to Crip for Ron Paul.
What'd it do?
My brother.
Crip in the house. Yeah. So. Yeah. So.
I mean, I'm just thinking.
Whatever would come about would be a lot better than how they do it now. It looks like, because again, you have people. The people control the corporations through voting with their dollars. Who they spend their money on. We don't have that now. We have government monopolies that do fuck all with our tax dollars. Where in an anarchist community, for instance, a lot of people ask me, "Oh, what if a ketchup company makes poisonous ketchup, right? And it poisons a bunch of people. Without government, they're just going to keep poisoning people, right?" No.
Mm-hmm.
Ketchup companies. There's 3 ketchup companies. The 2 other ketchup companies are going to be known for not having poisonous fucking ketchup.
Sure.
The one ketchup company has a board of owners that want to make a profit still. So they're going to be regulating their shit because they want to continue their business. If you know any of these fucking Fortune 500 guys or these guys that have really successful business, they want their shit to last 500 years. They don't want to go out of business because of a fucking accident, But in our society, we've been taught, companies will just fucking fuck off and kill everyone if they get a chance. It's like, no. Well, look at the fucking how many plane crashes have happened under the government supervision when these companies don't want a plane company doesn't want to crash. They got to pay a shit load of money, millions and millions of dollars to every person and every family for who they killed. Like they don't want those things to happen. Therefore, if they're holding their own shit accountable versus just letting some fucking feds deal with it that don't even do it right, then there's a crash. Send the feds in to find out what happened, because finding out what happened is the most important thing. Just like revenge is the most important thing when it comes to criminals and stuff. It's just getting back at them so they don't do it again. It's just this childish mentality that our whole entire system is set up on.
Right. I wouldn't be worried about like the like cartoonishly evil companies like trying to kill everyone. I think it's more just the undeniable fact that a business or a company's incentive is to maximize profit. And so that allows
in a community where the people vote with their dollars, that to make the most amount of money, they have to compete with other companies and offer the best product. So it balances out where they're having to spend good money on the product, so it's a good product, so the people buy it. And if they
the stock market is a bad idea, and
fuck yeah. But
that would naturally happen too
for a stock market or fucking mortgage.
Not necessary.
Maybe on a smaller basis, but there would be natural investment and like shareholder structures.
That's blockchain shit, though. Stock, like the Wall Street is human manipulated. The blockchain is blockchain. It's decentralized. The stock market's not decentralized. It's centralized. It's fucking a bunch of crazy rich assholes that have control of it. And ultimately, the blockchain, at the end of the day, it's a bunch of whales that control it. But it's definitely better for the people to not have these centralized governing agencies and centralized currencies that get devalued 100% over 50 years. And now we're paying fucking, my 85 Toyota, my 85 GMC pickup's worth like fucking $15,000 for some reason. And any shitty car that used to be $400 on Craigslist is now $3,000. It's absolutely insane what they're doing with our money. They're devaluing our labor. Our labor to them is worth fuck all. So they keep taking our buying power out of our money, thus devaluing our labor. So it's like, bro, like there was this machine I saw once. It was like minimum wage. You look into this thing and you're winding this thing and it shows you a penny every once in a while. It shows you a penny. It's all you're making minimum wage right now and you're sitting there winding this thing and it's all big penny.
Did you know what they used to do? Bad. They used to have people turn the screw, and it was like a paddle in a box of sand, and they're turning a crank, and it does absolutely nothing. They have to do it. It used to be a punishment, like in jail.
Oh, God.
That's where we get to turn the screw.
That's like a psychological...
Yeah. Like
Yikes.
you're doing like the Wheel of Pain, Conan,
or like the Chinese water test or the water torture. They drop water on you every 10 minutes or something, and like
was it
you just go crazy from not sleeping.
With a pickaxe, even though nobody's gonna use the rocks for anything.
That's the prison thing. Used to be breaking rocks, which is just like making these like really strong criminals.
I know.
It never made sense to me why they let them do so much shit and have like workout shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're just releasing super criminals that just went to criminal college.
What about
penitentiary
prison
should be like,
in an
if you're going to
society?
have one, they should be mostly, that, but like their downtime, like their housing, should be one individual. They should not house with anybody. They should be able,
Yeah,
because
so they
I
can't
don't
learn
like
from each
these
other.
guys have like issues, right? Like with antisocial behaviors, maybe some
Yeah.
trauma, trust issues. They should not be like, if they lock into their own cell, but then they can go out for meals, go out for work, therapy, educational stuff, like then it's literally just a room and board, dude, where you do some work.
And
Like they
yeah, it
could
would probably
actually learn
cost a lot
skills.
less
But
too.
we put them together and they just get into gang fights.
Yeah.
It would pay
And
for itself.
they get
Probably,
into
but
gang
now they
fights
just
and they turn into super criminals. They teach each other
Right.
to be super criminals. And again, like, that's how ridiculous it is now. And in anarchy land, there wouldn't be this desperation, this life or death desperation isn't there, because we're not being fucked by some, big daddy taking all our fucking labor away. Like, it wouldn't be this like, oh, I got to go out and rob people to pay my rent. Like, it would be completely different. We still will have bad actors, but those bad actors will get dealt with very quickly and very efficiently. And that's not how things are now. The criminals just get put in, like we're saying, they get put into prison camp, to criminal camp, where they come out super criminals, which makes no sense unless you're the government and you live off of chaos. You exist and are relevant because of chaos happening in your streets. The fires in California, they're a massive part of political stuff in California. They leave all these mountains. They don't do anything to them because they want them to burn down every while. So everyone's like, oh, I'm glad my tax dollars are going to something, like they have to do this shit to us, or else eventually we'll turn on them. They have to fucking keep the propaganda shit going. It's wild shit. Where's your Dia dos Muertos presentation, Darren? Did you forget?
It was too half baked.
Half baked at that time.
No, okay. So basically, like,
I think Guy
so
died.
a lot of this. What was that?
Nothing. Sorry.
Oh, no. A lot of our thing with government and crime. A lot of these problems are a matter of perspective, right? So, like, ignorance leads to evil behaviors. Ignorance of who they are, right? Because if not only are the deeds bad, they're not necessary. The things that we call crimes or violations of natural law, these things are based on an idea of that they're lacking something. So if you think you need money, maybe you're going to commit a crime like a robbery or something like that. Theft is, usually, dude.
Materialism.
Materialism, greed, right?
Yeah.
So, like, all of the vices that lead to the actions are ignorance of reality and your true nature, right? So it's hard. It's a hard point to get across to people, but when you think of geopolitics and the thing in roads, infrastructure, the existence of the internet,
Roads
which
are
is
just
fine,
roads.
but we think that we need these things, but what you think you need and what you actually
Pretty
need
whack, bro.
are two
It's pretty
different
whack,
things.
bro. It's pretty whack, bro. It's pretty whack, bro.
Don't start that
Here's
shit.
the problem. There's no limit to the amount of ignorant, nonsensical things we can get into.
Yeah.
And justified.
But there is a limit
Yeah.
to things that make sense. Right? So when the delusions don't really have any like independent, distinct ontological existence, you start with a premise: who's going to take care of the roads? Well, now you're just assuming roads have to exist. They don't. They were made up by people. They exist in the mind. It's not a necessity, but you start with these. You start with these axioms, these
You're gonna
propositions,
trigger
and
Guy. He's a road
you try
worker.
to. No, it's fine. I mean, roads.
What do you mean roads don't need to exist?
It's whatever. But like, first you start with roads. Who's going? You fuck with the wrong one. What? No, but you got the roads, and then who's
I'm
going
in
to
the
maintain the
asphalt
roads? Now,
industry.
how do we get this money for the roads? Now, how do we force people? It's building on itself, but it's all just a concept, dude. That's the thing. Like, government is a concept. Nobody has to vote on like whether water evaporates or not. Nobody has to vote on, like, do materials combust when exposed to the right conditions.
I'm gonna find out that you fuck with the wrong
So
one,
when
boy!
stuff that we're doing as a species, if what we're doing is not working, maybe we don't need to govern harder, but maybe we need to do less and actually study how nature works and how the principles underlying it work, and then try to conform with that. Because a lot of this is ultimately like terror management strategy for dealing with death. Because you just tell this person, like, hey bro, like, what do you think about, you think people should have clean water, you think there should be safe communities, and then you just look at someone and be like, so what about like the fact that you're going to die? What about that? How do you remedy that
Yeah.
problem? And then you just look and just like, bro, you can like not eat any animals and you're still gonna grow up to be dead.
So,
Change his
So
perspective
so
on
you're
things.
so
still gonna
basically
have to
all the
come back
animals
here
here,
again.
they're all gonna be dead.
They're
Dead.
all gonna be
We're all
babies
gonna
being
be dead.
born.
It's the nihilist outlook. Nothing matters. Morality doesn't
Well,
exist.
it's to
We
show
have
you
no
that
control
what you
over our
think,
condition.
no, what you think matters doesn't. What you think matters way less, that, and therefore not worth doing evil deeds to get those things.
Right.
Yeah.
Because no
Because
one
one
makes
thing
it
you
out
can't.
alive.
Yeah, but also that these actions, once done, can't be undone, and karmically they are attached to your mental body, which forms the karmic body for your next experience. Okay, um, and basically, it's these short-term gains are not worth long-term repercussions. I mean, people think that's where it is kind of a cult, because it's not above the surface. You can't X-ray it, but causally, like, there's everybody thinks that, or they act like this life is all there is, and that everything that they want has to exist within this realm, be experienced in this body, experienced right now, at the expense of
Everything.
morality.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the problem. They're trying to compress us. But here's the thing: if you want to talk about natural law and the generative principle,
Fuck.
what
Hope it catches back up.
is real? Something that's real doesn't, I guess, something that really
Does
exists
that really exist?
in a
In a
permanent way
permanent way.
isn't affected by time, right? So, no, if 1,000 years passes, does natural law not apply anymore? No. So it has to be beyond
Yeah.
time. If the weather changes, or if I'm made of a different material, it doesn't change. So it has to be above matter, energy, time, and space. It has to be beyond that. In fact, it's the substratum of that. It's the substrate that the universe is laid over, or actually reality. Your mind superimposes these differentiations on consciousness itself. So basically, like, when you're in a dream, there's people there in the dream, you're doing stuff, and you wake up from a dream, and they're like, oh, it's not real anymore. And our world, even though we have an objective, so-called objective reality, all your perceptions, including our conversation right now, are occurring in your mind. Okay, so whatever we think is super important, if it exists in the mind, then it's subject to error. And so to, I guess, to mitigate suffering or to conform with natural law, all you have to do is all you have to do is really just like prioritize reality over what we want reality to be, basically, is what it is. I mean, honestly, it's mostly ego driven, doubling down on things that we already know are wrong. And like, for example, nobody has to tell me that they don't want to be hurt, right? So like, an animal doesn't speak English, somehow I know it doesn't want to be harmed by me, right? So even we have to stop like glorifying ourselves to the point that we think we're God, right? So by saying, if you want to know reality, you have to read a book, or if you want to know reality, you have to do this. If it originates in the minds of men, then it's ultimately just a reflection of consciousness and not consciousness. That's why people used to take vows of silence, because you can't really, there's no excuses to be made when you're silent. Like you just have to treat people right, and everything else, anything that you want to talk about, like, you realize that it wasn't really that important. It drive you crazy in the beginning, but after a while there's a stillness that comes. It's just a method of controlling urges. So basically it's impulse control, realizing that reality is what it is and not what we think it ought to be. So there's very little that actually has to be done. Nature runs itself like a clockwork, and
It's
all
like
we have to do is not interfere.
It's like expectation control almost.
Literally, dude.
Yeah, like what was page 449 of the Alcoholics
Not
Anonymous Blue
interfere
Book
with
is
like
about
natural processes, and then just kind of leave it.
About how your expectations on life are just gonna fuck you up if they're not in the right place, you know.
Well, even just thinking about language
Yeah.
in itself, it's that idea of like not confusing the map with the location. Like, language is like a working model that we use to try and describe reality, but language is itself is not reality.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
It's just
Kant
words
said,
some guys made up.
the noumenon versus the phenomenon. The thing in and of itself is not the same thing as a word that represents it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we truly capable of grasping the noumenon? Maybe not directly, because our senses are phenomena themselves. But our base nature is the noumenon. Reality exists. That's all you can know for sure.
Yeah.
My reality.
Everything else is some level of
My
conjecture.
reality. My
Consciousness
truth.
exists.
I don't know whether or not your reality exists.
Existence exists. Existence exists. Like, well, I may not exist because I wasn't here before I existed. I won't be here after I exist. But existence exists. That's really the.
We know you exist. We saw you a couple weeks ago.
Whatever. Yeah, I mean, that's it. Like, if something is
you just saw some light, man.
Yeah, I mean, really though, like, it's amazing how, like, we've created all these ideas. Like, imagine like the reasons people go to war with each other, dude.
Yeah.
The reason
dumb.
states exist, period.
Like the real, imagine
it's literally just a hallucination, bro. It's a hallucination.
Yeah.
That other people have just like memed.
Yeah.
Through
we're all enslaved by it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
a meme it just exists through like as like a game of telephone for that generation.
Yeah, like Simon Says, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, or like you walk into the grocery store and you see everybody going like this, and then you look around and you're like, I should probably put my hands
I
on my head,
guess, yeah.
and it just goes like that for fucking generations.
Damn. Yeah, I guess so.
It's like, what's that? What's the movie? You Will Know Us by the Trail of Dead? Is that what it is? No, that was a band. The one with Josh Brolin and the scary Mexican guy, the killer.
No Country for Old
No
Men.
Country for Old Men.
Yeah.
Like he would, how like passive everyone was who he was
Yes.
killing. They were just like, okay, like he'd hold the thing up and they just put their head up to it and go, "Boink." And it's like that's literally the society we live in. Like people are so just, oh, okay, if you say so,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not going to defend myself.
Right.
I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to offend anyone.
I have this embroidery on my shirt. Do what I say.
Well, it's all based on the fear, right? Because it's all like survival. We think it's what we think we need to survive. Whether
Yeah.
you need it or want it or think we need it. I mean, there obviously are base needs, but past that is
You're my base
culture. Oh, geez. But yeah, it's largely programming outside of the needs.
Yeah. Outside of
Codependency.
maintaining the body, there's really not much. I mean, like the job, what like the purpose of an organism is to live. You
Yeah,
can make other
Maintain,
purpose-
sustain.
Yeah, but you can
Argue
make up other
psychologically.
reasons for existing.
right.
But you know,
But yeah,
you
the whole
kinda didn't
point of
even
the game is to
consciously
survive.
as
And
this person decide to exist. But yeah, so but besides that, when you want to be all extra and say I want to survive, but also have stuff and things, then you're adding some baggage to the game, and then everybody wants to bring their own baggage. Like I want to exist too, but I also want aliens. You know, I exist too, but I also want like to start my own religion, and you know, and
join our
and
cult.
yeah, exactly. So these different cults start. You know, I want to exist too
No,
and
our
have
cult
food and
is
stuff.
starting.
Oh yeah, oh for sure, bro. I mean, should we?
Allie's cult.
You know.
What's your
Yeah.
marketing
So,
plan?
You got your hammers.
Shit. Oh shit, yeah. No, well, this isn't the show. The next show is
okay.
gonna be fucking fun. We're holding back right now.
Okay. Yeah.
We're gonna talk about
Yeah.
hanging out and shit too.
Hails, brother.
We have
Hails.
to gauge our perceptions.
Shit.
Fuck
Hails.
shit. Oh, so yeah, anybody watching next podcast is gonna be fucking great. We're gonna be watching the Mark Passio documentary.
Which one?
Documentary, did y'all know? A new one.
Oh, there's a
The
new
one-
one that
it's-
came out. You didn't see?
It's on the front page.
Nope.
Oh boy. Yeah, well, stay tuned. Don't watch it
Stay
before
tuned.
the show.
Mm.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah, I won't even search for it.
What else are we doing?
Is this like a with or without his consent documentary?
With his consent,
Oh.
but of very bad taste.
Don't even say
Mm.
anything else about it. But he's promoted it himself.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, okay.
So he knows. Yeah. And it's going around, but no one's saying much about it.
Like, did somebody like bait and switch him? Like, give consent and then?
We don't want to talk about it right
Yeah.
Dude,
We don't want to talk about it right now.
All right.
what
It's
is that?
too
A
good.
couple
Almost
weeks?
wanna
No,
show
that's-
one picture,
no.
but you can't.
It's
Okay.
no, absolutely not. That's the
Okay,
best
okay.
part. No, it's unbelievable.
Come on.
It's no,
All right, I
don't
can't wait
look
for
it up,
next show.
Rachel. Wait till we watch it
No.
on the podcast. It'll be way funnier to share it with others. The experience of
right hand.
watching the Mark Passio documentary.
I promise not to spill the beans.
And I think I know we have some other stuff, but the documentaries, it's epic. It's amazing. It's awesome.
Yeah,
I
you've
can't
worked
even-
hard on it, huh?
So many other words to describe it. It's
I
like
can't
Sound
even
Path all
talk
over
about it.
again. Yeah, we can't even talk about it. Yeah.
Wow.
Mysteriously quiet from that whole crew, the Sound Path crew. What happened to Jerry? Where's she been?
She took your advice, yo.
Hopefully dealing with her court stuff. She varnished after that podcast we did.
Well, you're
Varnished.
too mean, yo. You're too mean to that girl.
Anyway,
yo.
2 hours. So what? So yeah, that was Cliff Notes. Are we gonna read the whole book, or it's almost like the Cliff Notes are like good enough
There's certain
to get the
parts
concepts
to me,
apart?
yeah,
But yeah, some deeper shit.
No.
Maybe we should just read it and highlight some things that we can go over on a future episode. I guess we still have to finish the fucking Kabbalion reading.
Nice.
What? Nice. But yeah.
Yeah.
This one's ultra relevant. This one was super relevant. Oh wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Gia.
You're gonna find out that you fucked with the wrong one, boy!
Or the death metal band Insanity.
For a roast chicken.
Roast chicken.
Fully healed. I'm bisexual, but you know.
Yes, we start just pounding on the soundboard.
American people over to
Oh,
Europe and natural law.
Can we not hear it?
I gotta.
Oh, you can't hear it? You haven't
Or-
heard any of the soundboard?
No.
No one fucking likes
Can you hear it, Darren?
All right?
I can
Yeah.
hear that shit. That's
I wouldn't
just
say
funny
no
as
one.
fuck.
So oh, because I thought maybe it was because I wasn't on YouTube or
Make
something.
you vibrate.
No, it should come through. It should come through StreamYard.
Vibrate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
can't hear
only on StreamYard right now.
Beautiful people, not just
Right
Oh.
now.
girls, but
I'm on
you
the
know,
Facebook.
the fellas as well.
Well, I guess
You
it'd
can't
be
hear that,
YouTube.
huh?
I'm
Nothing.
I'm
not
on the
bisexual,
YouTube.
but you know,
It's weird.
beautiful
weird,
people,
it's
not
weird.
just girls, but
I wonder if
Yeah.
there's some sort of
Fellas
setting or
girls,
something that
not
I have to.
bisexual.
I've never even heard of
He's
that,
not
that happening.
bisexual?
Uh-oh, we just got
How are you
dropped.
not bisexual,
no.
dude? All
Now
these
we just
fine
got dropped.
fellas.
Oh,
Huh.
Psych.
wait. What did I just push? Oh,
Oh no, nothing. They
Oh,
got
okay.
dropped from the show. They'll pop back in.
dropped from their own show.
They're trying to get y'all to,
We have lots of people hacking into the internet to
get y'all to
disrupt
hear
our
it.
show, we'd like to think.
I believe it.
Yeah.
you know, dancing is a form of getting into
Now they all
a
hear
meditative
it.
mind state. You know,
Anyway,
I have. I mean, I
No,
can.
they didn't
I
laugh.
have lots of questions,
keep going
and
with the questions.
you want me to keep going with the questions?
Yeah.
So like, there's two different paths here. There's like the military one and the corporate one. Which one do you want me to?
Corporate's good. Military's pretty
Corporate.
easy. Corporate's a little bit more tricky. So
Okay, well
corporate.
now it sounds like a challenge, so I'm gonna go military.
Reverse
okay.
psychology.
Right. Okay, so are we like would you admit that or like is it whatever, I don't know how to phrase it, but do we all agree that if like we were the only country to no longer have like one centralized federal control over our like military defense and all that, that other powerful nations would just see that as a weakness and we would be vulnerable because things like networking and communication and quick response and all these things would be slowed down by the fact that it would be like private organizations and like militias and shit like that. So like if we were to do this overnight and no other country in the world did, don't you think we would be an easy target?
I think we're an easy target now because we're using 1950s technology. Like, in order for a F-80, F-35 to drop a bomb on a person, like 300 people have to do their job correctly. Where I would think that the guerrilla, would be far superior to our military. But I don't believe we have been in any just wars. I don't believe any of our bases overseas need to be where they are. I don't think there's any other country on the world that is a threat to the largest standing army in the world, which is the American gun owner. I don't think our military is horrendously overkill for what we need. I think any of our offshore skirmishes are completely unnecessary to our personal safety as a country. If anything, what we're doing overseas creates blowback, which I was explaining earlier, creates wars in the future. Bombing some kid's family is going to radicalize that kid that's going to try and bomb one of our bases in 10 years, you know.
The offensive nature of the United States
creates
most, if not all, the need for its defense.
Makes us less safe.
Once the offense is removed, these bases are removed, people fly back home or just chill and live there.
Yeah.
Like,
they don't have someone to be mad at if we're gone. You know?
And realistically, it's not just one nation. It's more. If you have like the idea of like
the
militias
allies
and people, and if you still have an internet and the ways to organize, people can organize. Humans can organize, and I think that's the big. We misuse the word government for organization and human organization, to where that can still happen. To where if there's an attack or some sort of nefarious force on the whatever local soil of wherever they are. I mean, people can come together and deal with that problem. Like we were saying, the extreme nature and like our military is the way it is because of it.
Government also means leadership, or to steer, like kubernos in Greek, gubernare in Latin. So, if you want something done, you consult some person or some group of people that are maybe
because
good at consulting. So, I mean, yeah, we can govern ourselves, as in, like, who owns the bathtub in a family, home, right? Like, people figure out when to take showers. They figure out how to share certain common things, right? Furniture, what times they turn their lights off and whatnot. And like, there's not always like a clear hierarchy or, like list of written rules, but they make it happen.
Also, Guy, we've been scared by a bunch of boogeymen by our government, the powers that be. They scare us into thinking that there are threats out there. I don't believe nuclear weapons are even real. Cold War propaganda has been going. Cold War propaganda caused a lot of hysteria that was unnecessary, and we're still living in those times, and we're still living with the leftover remnants of people believing in Cold War propaganda. I don't believe our government, if had a tool like that, wouldn't be using it. I don't believe that in our day and age it wouldn't have been used. It would have been used in the past more than just once. We've gone over it on the show a couple times. There's a nuclear physicist that built like the first 60 nuclear reactors in the United States, and he's got this banned lecture where he ingests nuclear waste, and he used to swim in the cooling ponds of the nuclear reactors and all kinds of stuff. And then one day they were like, "Hey, stop doing that, or else you're going to lose your job." And then they came out that, nuclear stuff is actually really dangerous, because they didn't want people stealing it. If you think, if I touch that, I'm going to die, you're not going to go steal it. So there are certain things that we believe that are absolute bullshit. But most of any foes that we have in the world, we created them, and they aren't. They can't do shit to us. And in anarchy land, there would be a free market solution to that problem, which would be a lot more efficient and a lot better than whatever the government hobbles together with their bullshit.
It would have to be like, I I mean, I wouldn't even, for the sake of the conversation, I wouldn't argue that it wouldn't be better, but I think it would have to be definitely a long transition. You have to make sure. Well, I mean, this is going
Industry
under.
works fast, man.
I mean, under the
People greedy motherfuckers will get some shit out real quick. You know, these great businessmen of our times, they're gonna want to take advantage. They're gonna want to be first to the fucking table. You know, like that's how the free market works. These motherfuckers it's using the greed, using corporate greed to our advantage. We force them to give us the best product at the lowest price, or else they don't exist anymore. That is the coolest part about free market capitalism, is the balance that's built into it by having competition.
But going under, like, so you're assuming that my like apocalyptic version of our world enemies is true. We have certain government systems right now that are running things, and so they would have to be replaced and made whole without ever leaving a gap. You know what I mean? Without ever leaving like a window of opportunity for someone to
I think you
take
think
advantage
that
of
we're
it.
holding back all these countries that want to come in and kill everyone, but I don't think that's real.
Hypothetically, I would say, like, if that were
like
true,
a resource, maybe like natural resource.
Like what would they be coming here to kill us for?
So I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be kinetic, because I think I tend to agree intuitively with you that it wouldn't have to be like a sudden kinetic fucking just we'll suddenly get bombed by Russia and China all at the same time. Like, it doesn't have to be that, but there are other ways that countries are constantly trying to like gain foothold or gain influence in other systems. So part of our national security is not just weapons, but it's also
what if those things the other countries are doing actually make things better here? You're assuming anything that they'd be doing would be something to our detriment.
I guess not necessarily to our detriment, just with their benefit in mind, which would be
like
maybe
economic control.
Sure, economic, or
I mean, China already owns like half of California.
The key here is that
our government's not doing that great of a job.
The key thing here is that the system in place, the only reason, the incentive for them to step in and control these elements in the system, once that system isn't there anymore, then they don't have the thing that they want to take over or control. It's not in the same nature. So, like, let's say, all right, China wants to influence the U.S. dollar or something, because it's one currency that dominates our market. The market is way more controllable versus if over
decentralized
let's say,
currencies,
2, 3, 4, 5 years, the market changes and people are bartering and using other foreign currencies and different cryptos and everything, and it changes the whole
playing
environment. Yeah. It changes the whole environment so that those incentives for those nefarious countries, like they don't have this, the system isn't in place for them to take over in the way they would if their government was in place. The nature of organically formed societies that are more grassroots and more smaller, organically formed versus like state lines and top-down control. Top-down control, if you can hack into it, so to speak, you can control it, right? If it's more bottom-up control, then it's much harder to just step in and it's like, okay, what are you going to attack specifically? Like, what is the advantage for a foreign power to send in a bunch of resources in the military? Like,
to get what?
What? Like, maybe, like, that's why I was like maybe,
Fort Knox or something?
Or
like come and get the gold?
Or like a mine or something?
A mine?
Like
some wooded, what natural resource would they come here to get? And then this guy's saying you're literally standing on what would drop bombs on to take. That doesn't really give us an answer. That doesn't give us an answer, really. Like, what, their land? They just want to, like Israel's taking from Palestine. They just want to reside on the land here. We have a lot of fucking land. I mean, they don't need to kill us over it. They can just move here.
I mean, like you were saying, that like, okay, like let's think about like anti-missile systems, defensive systems on our physical border. Again, just without a government, I mean, private, just for the sake of speaking, like private resources can run and function, and
Necessary
use this
resources will
infrastructure
stay
that is
running.
already there. And again, like I was saying with the organization, that people can organize, people can still, there's trained professionals who know how to operate that stuff.
What about the land, Mark? Mike, Matt? Mike, Matt. So hold on. So first I have to address this. Crypto can't get itself on around. It's all about silver, gold, and XRP. So XRP is crypto, so you're contradicting yourself. Obviously someone's trying to fucking troll me because they know how much I hate XRP. XRP is the fucking Rothschild coin. It is the opposite of decentralized. It is just like the dollar. It's deflationary. It's garbage. Silver and gold. Silver's cool. Gold's tricky because how are you going to use gold in the field and not get ripped off? In order to test the purity of gold, you need an assayer. There's little devices that claim that they could do it, but they can't really. So using gold in the field isn't really very efficient. Neither is silver, really. It's all stuff that you can get stolen from you. Also, crypto, you can get ripped off, your crypto ripped off, but you can't get it, like, they can't grab it from you, like they can silver and gold. If you have a lot of silver and gold, you try and fly somewhere, they have a problem with that. There's a lot of reasons why crypto could be better than silver and gold, but silver and gold's fine. Yeah, have everything except that XRP. Don't have XRP because that's fucking Satan coin.
Okay.
XRP is different to crypto, bro. Don't even start to talk to me about crypto. This fucking guy is trying to tell me XRP is not crypto. Bro.
So my last part about like the idea of enemies would be, let's assume nobody wants to take the land by force. Let's assume the economy incentives have changed, and so that's not really a concern. But then there are ideological motivations for wanting to destroy the Western world, right?
Yeah, but what if that was gone? The government's gone, and guess what? The government's gone, and U.S. is trading with everywhere in the world and bartering and has good relationships now because we don't have psychopaths running the country. The U.S. is actually able to fix its reputation because at that point, we don't have the money to even bomb another country. We're having to just pull things back, regroup, and defend our borders with a reasonable amount of force instead of being this demon to every country, dropping bombs or controlling economically or controlling politically behind the scenes. I mean, the US is pissed off almost every country. And so if that's all gone and these political talks aren't happening anymore and these ceasefires and all this, oh, we're going to go bomb this country because they bombed that country and all this stuff's gone. I mean, people outside of the US are far more politically savvy than most Americans. You'd be surprised, man. They understand that our government is rogue and that we don't represent our government, and know that most smart countries know that the US has a lot of money and can bring a lot of money to them. And, like most places would like to get along with us instead of, I mean, I don't know what even army could even muster enough to come over here and do any damage, really. Like, there's so many guns in the US. California alone has more AR-15s than the rest of the world combined, like just on our West Coast. And
I would agree. I would agree with that. I would say that there is sophisticated cyber warfare that could completely throw us into chaos, though, and make us probably fucking kill each other or ourselves.
Chaos. What do you mean? Like economic chaos? Like, I think that would be good. I think this country's
Like
system being brought to the
infrastructure
ground would be a great thing for the people.
Like you
I
talked
would
about,
I
like,
would be talking about infrastructure attacks and like essentially psyops that like if like say Iran and Russia were to have a full scale like cyber attack on us and we didn't have Iran, yeah.
Iran and Russia, we're in cahoots with them. The U.S. is in cahoots. These are all boogeymen. This is the boogeyman I was telling you about. How many years? Tiny ass. Russia's got the tiniest military, and it's getting wiped out right now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
Russia
they're
doesn't give a
definitely
shit about. Russia is America's boogeyman. Russia has the same bankers that America
Russia.
has. United States of America has the same bankers run all of these things. They do this shit to scare us to get their agenda.
And I will say this, like, I think, I mean, especially mentioning psyops or other type of like cultural attempts to like change the culture, right, rather than just like economic or military stuff. I think that to say that the government we have now that in place does a good job or does a better job than individuals can organically come up with as far as like a solution, I think it's like false. I mean, like, even look at like I think about like internet sleuths who like people who solve crimes, or YouTubers who like do a better job than like police departments. Like, I think like
Come up, spiritual ascension.
there's
There's the link.
There's solutions to these like attacks, or let's say like these nefarious intentions that would absolutely, I think I see these solutions even happening now under our current system. Like I was saying, with like internet sleuths and people coming together to help find missing people, and like if there was some sort of foreign force trying to manipulate the media or do some sort of thing. I mean, people, especially like just being empowered and just of their own will, like just on like Reddit, I mean, they do amazing shit all the time. And so I think that's just an example of like how people can come together and organically organize and provide solutions for, let's say, like these hypothetical
for free
attacks. I think even militarily too.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely. Military is very inefficient. It's so big. And so just smaller, more private operations that can still, all have the same goal of protecting society. They come together and solve those problems.
So spiritual ascension said a couple funny things. Any form of currency is demon money. No, centralized currencies are demon money. Decentralized currencies are great. Any community that decides to make a currency in order to for safety reasons, because you can't just carry around gold and fucking silver all the time or leave it all in your house. Sure, basic banking can turn into bad banking, but no, centralized currencies are demon money. You just stated crypto is the same as XRP, but you said XRP is devil coin, so wouldn't that technically make crypto the devil coin too? I don't know where you got that in that logic. That's a little funny. No, crypto is a tool for the people to use against centralized currencies, which are slavery. And the intention of a coin, I mean, you're trying to say that XRP is not a crypto, but it is. So I don't know if you have some weird, if you just don't know what you're talking about, or you have some weird take on it. But XRP is most definitely a crypto, and XRP is a centralized, which means humans can control it and change the numbers. That's one bad thing against it. It's inflationary, which is another thing that's bad about it, which means that they could just keep making more of it. And it's literally run by people that are involved in central banking and the Federal Reserve, and all of the Federal Reserve system has the world enslaved. So this coin, XRP, with all of that behind it, is a devil coin, where something like Bitcoin that is decentralized, which means no one can fuck with it, it's deflationary, which means the amount of Bitcoin is going down and only going down, and will forever go down, which forces the price of it up. So in order, I don't know if you just don't really understand crypto if you're trying to say if I call one bad that all of them are bad, but I don't really understand that logic, so I can't really answer that question. But no, not all crypto is devil coin just because one is bad. The intention of the coin is to enslave, therefore it is bad. Bitcoin is there to free, so there's a different intention there. Crypto is not the end all be all. It's just a tool. Like I said, it's a tool that should be in your portfolio. Get online. No, that's not for me. Why not? It's like hiding in comments. I appreciate your take on it. Okay, to be frank, I don't invest in anything other than my creator. Okay.
That sounded so good.
Yeah. So
I could go off on so many tangents.
No, keep going. We got another 25 minutes. We'll go.
Okay. Well, I would say that it would be hard to continue too much of a military conversation under the pretense that our enemies are just boogeymen. So, I mean, I wouldn't really be able to continue off on that. But I do see how, like, an overall worldwide cultural shift, it would be, like, part of the solution. And that us as an example could mitigate some of the hatred for sure. And us, like, pulling out of shit for sure would mitigate the
Remember
hatred.
9/11, dude? Everyone loved us after 9/11 happened. We had the whole world backing us up, and that wasn't that long ago. We could change our reputation back to that quickly.
For sure. A quick Bitcoin side note would be how decentralized do you think it truly is anymore with so much huge institutional investment? Yeah. I mean, because they almost can manipulate it.
It's as decentralized as it can be, not being it's as decentralized as it can be, not being a centralized coin, which ultimately, obviously, just like AI at the end of the day, it's all programmed by some guy. I mean, not some guy, but by the internet and by all of us. And sure, the whales, yeah.
If Wall Street wanted to dump all of it right now, it would be pretty catastrophic, right?
Not really, because it's cheap right now. Yeah, it's only like if
it'd be short term.
Yeah, people would buy it up like crazy at that price. No, you can't kill it. You could only momentarily point it in the other direction for a little bit.
Engaging in high risk investments around crypto and stocks. Those are that's like financial markets. Yeah, like shit goes haywire, but as far as a long-term just existing as a currency, it would have to be worldwide EMP like status.
Yeah. And Wall Street would be out of their fucking mind to get out of crypto right now. They want to make money. They see the gains. The gains have been proven. So like, oh, look at the kitty. The gains have been proven. Therefore, like nobody's selling, no institutions are selling. They're nothing but buying. BlackRock would buy up all that crypto, all that Bitcoin in a minute. And yeah, obviously BlackRock owning 51% would be sketchy, but that's why we have a million other cryptos. If something bad happens to it, we can bail, because it's always going to be the base currency. It's always going to be the currency everything else is based off of, no matter what those guys do with it. At a certain point of separation, it becomes, the farther away you get from Bitcoin, the more negligible those changes are. I think I have a hot take on why this bull run has been so shitty. I think because COVID, the last time, and all those stimmies, I think that money wouldn't have gone into the market if we hadn't got all those checks. And I think it kind of threw off how
The
how
cycle.
things were supposed to be. Yeah, and this year just ended up being flat. And then the other thing is Bitcoin's starting to find its true price, and it's not going to be as crazy as it's been in the past. So you got to get into microcaps and the smaller coins and stuff. There's just not going to be swings. Oh shit! Hey, who is that? Don't we know who that is? Is that who is that? I know we know who that is. It must be a girl then, huh? It's not Rose, is it?
Doesn't must be.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't have to be.
Okay. All right. You
Keep
want
going.
another line? Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah.
To me, privatized everything sounds like what I've been told is hell.
Oh, I know who this is. This is Heather. Logan's ex. Heather.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, way
Not-
to dox.
Whoops, sorry.
You can't first name docs. So okay, so I would say, like I was
I guess
saying,
it's not.
kind of going off what I was saying before about,
Yeah, we
because I
threw
think
you
I had
off.
to take like a work call or something, but that I don't believe in like the evil corporation wanting to kill everyone. Like that doesn't make sense. It's not a good way to make profit. So that's obviously
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
But there are examples, right, of like the reason why unions formed in the first place. The example that I had heard the most was usually like a mining company, right? A mining company would come into an area, they would be the first there, they would so they would have, you know, a first mover advantage, right? And they would be the powerful there, and it would be good at first because people would be like, okay, we can work for this company, we can make money. But then they would also open grocery stores and build housing, and it would all be owned by one private enterprise,
Yeah.
who
Super
then,
sketchy.
yeah, then the workers
Manipulate.
would have to fucking work for whatever they said would be
Factory
paid.
towns. There were a lot of
Yeah.
them in the early 1800s and shit, and their
Right.
living conditions were terrible because
Right.
it was just a slave.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, it was just
Slave
a
labor.
slave plantation, basically.
So how would no government intervention or no regulations, how would that get solved without that?
With okay, so I don't think it would be solved. So if a company, like some of these communities that will pop up probably will be businesses that buy some land and start a community, and or I don't think labor is as hard to come by as it was back in the day. They used to like have these labor towns because they wanted people to live there because they really needed labor during the laying of the foundation of this country. So I think like political, I mean, just all the economic things are different and would be different, but I don't see. I mean, you're getting back to the like question of who's going to defend the rights of the individual, and that's another thing that the free market is going to have to answer for us, because I mean, it's if a company is known, like it's back to the ketchup thing again. Okay, this
Yeah.
company treats its people like shit, right? People know about that. Oh, hey, a moral community will not. Okay, sorry. A competitor is going to come along that doesn't do it and take up that fucking profit.
Also, imagine, I mean, social media era, cell phone era, people taking videos.
Yeah.
In an era where possibly we have tools to make the individual more empowered. Would they be able to get away with that And also think about, okay, so like a business,
It's more
let's say,
profitable to
buys an
have happy
area
employees too.
and continues to build on it and goes through all the proper permits and has the, you know, the money and the overhead to be able to go through all the government whatever loopholes acquiring that land, versus in a free society to where people can, if people can leave and the land can be overtaken, let's say, easier than, let's say, with a system in place. It's like there's more solutions available to address that problem. It's not that that problem may not happen or start to happen. It's that there's more solutions available without the system in place that is in place now.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. There's like
I think I would believe that the environment is different, and so that would mitigate it for sure. Social media and like you said, more people, more, and they, I mean, it's not, we're not in the time so much anymore where there's certain geographical areas that one particular industry could manage to monopolize, but monopolies in general would still for sure happen, right? Don't you think there would be, like, one company would be
they're limited.
profitable and
It's with the
go ahead.
government allowing
So-
a monopoly to be like the all power.
Well,
That's when it
essentially,
really
government
fucks
is
things
what
up.
enables the monopoly to occur in the
Yes.
first place. While they have arbitrary controls on what they say are monopolies that can and can't exist, we have, number one, there's obviously the corruption, behind the scenes corruption, and then number two,
If there's competition, there's no monopoly. And there's always going to be competition, because in order to not have competition, you'd need a government to hold back competition.
and the reason why there would be more competition is that there is not the barrier to entry that is presented by the government,
Yes.
therefore enabling that monopolies to occur. And even
Is-
if it's like, it'll be
is
like
that-
monopoly lights, where it's like, okay, we don't have one company that controls it, there's two companies, but then no competitors have a chance to come up in the market because they need so much overhead and investment to even start a company, all the permits, go through all the regulations,
Beg the government to
be
just get a
legal,
permit to
get-
do it.
to
Yeah.
be able to compete in that realm. So it's
We're in a free market. Someone can just start a business and offer us a better product.
and well, then yes, there's
those
a
two other
danger.
businesses will get hurt
Yes,
quite a bit.
Exactly.
And businesses are supposed to fucking go out of business. You know, like these companies are supposed to fail. That's
Oh,
what
like bailouts,
markets.
government bailouts and stuff.
No,
That's
yeah,
what
no,
they do.
yeah, and it's not, it's healthy. If there's three products on the market by three companies and one of those companies goes away because they didn't make it, that's good for the economy. Those two other companies are going to be able to, you know, flourish of that one. You know, it's not like the American dream isn't every business succeeds. You know, like it's competition, it's free market, which we're supposed to be. But
Yeah, it makes
with
us
the
work
monopoly
harder.
shit, it fucks
Yeah.
everything up.
I don't have, like, obviously I don't have like a whole bunch of facts and dates and
Dumbass.
figures and stuff on me at the moment, but the idea that monopolies only exist because of government, I mean, kind of goes against everything I was taught about. So like these companies like
Give me
the
an
Rockefeller.
example.
Well, like didn't all these big family names like the Rockefellers and shit, didn't they come into power, and like Union Pacific and all these things, they came into power during a time of no government regulation, didn't they? Like it was because there weren't antitrust laws and there weren't things like this that were keeping these companies from just fucking like taking over massive amounts of the share
They
of
could
the
have just
market.
been first to the market
Yeah, I thought that was a loophole.
in general. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
most of those dudes, they just came from deep bloodlines that always had money, and they had the capital to throw at stuff. And that's
the thing
we're
that
getting
happened
back
in
to like
Georgia.
the boogeyman scenario
Jekyll
where it's like
Island.
these guys, we don't even know their real story. We believe there's been a lot of resets through history where they've reset technology to kind of take advantage. Like, for instance, maybe electricity was free once. It just was pulled out of the ether with some technology that they've hidden from us because they
I
wanted
believe
to
it.
charge us for electricity. So if you believe stuff like that, then you go back to all these old stories of the founding fathers and all these corporatist guys, and it's just like, okay, well, this is what this was taught to me in school for a reason. They wanted me to believe this, so I believe in the American fucking system and all these guys, and it's likely all bullshit, all of it. These, because so what I'm saying is the kind of the examples are kind of invalid because it's back to the boogeyman thing where it's like it's kind of a hard argument if you're agreeing that we're probably being lied to about a bunch of shit.
It makes me think of remember the Truman Show?
Yeah,
movie,
of course.
Where it's like
Great fucking movie.
The whole basis of everything he ended up being wrong. So therefore, it's like if he wanted to travel the world or sail the world, some discovered, but there was a whole version of history for his little simulation of his whole life. And it's like, well, that could be, some sort of allegory to some degree of, okay, we have these businessmen who are put in place and we're able to take advantage, be the first to utilize some resource or take advantage of some market or something. We're not focusing.
It's not focusing.
Sure,
who knows?
Sure,
but again,
my response to that would be that this is only what I described is only the boogeyman to a lib like me, right? To a libertarian or a hardcore conservative, what I'm describing sounds fine. So it's not a boogeyman. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but then that's the false paradigm.
Yeah, that's just brainwashing propaganda.
Yeah, you're missing that element.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Oh, I mean, I'm saying I'm talking about my fears of a fully corporate or privatized world. But what I'm saying is that you can't just tell me that that's a boogeyman because it's not the boogeyman to the other side. So it doesn't.
It doesn't have to be universally a boogeyman to both sides. It isn't. It's often not only a boogeyman to one side because it's being used for it's being used as fear.